Hey there, folks. Adam here going live. Want to talk about a little bit of isolated severe weather potential in southwestern Ontario. We sent out a notification that we're going live, but we kept this one pretty isolated just to the southwestern areas. In the past, some folks had mentioned that it would be nice if they got notified, but we felt like, why are we telling Ottawa about this? Because it's not heading that way. It's just for southwestern Ontario right now. So let's take a peek over at the radar. There is a cell I just notified about heading towards Chatham, Kent, about to move on to shore towards Delta Town and Merlin, and heading towards Chatham, Kent, Blenheim areas. So it looks pretty interesting, and we're trying to keep a close eye on it right now. It does have some damaging wind gust potential. So the main risk today is definitely going to be damaging wind gusts, a little bit of hail risk, a little bit of flooding risk, but the main risk is damaging wind gusts. We're not anticipating too much in the ways of rotation. The overall tornado risk is unlikely, but damaging winds are obviously dangerous. They knock over a tree, heading towards you, all that fun stuff. Then, yeah, you don't really care what it's called at that point. It's just obviously dangerous. So, we're gonna be watching that closely. Let me just jump into the comments here and say hi to everybody. Hi, Courtney from West Gray. How's it going? Hi, Pamela from Eden, probably. Hi, Linda from Northern Bruce Peninsula. Thanks for letting us know where you're watching from. Yeah, I'm going to flip over quickly here to, let me flip over quickly to radar so we can see what storm I am actually referring to at the moment. So this should pop up. There we go. Great. So this is, let me just make sure I have the latest data. I think I'm going to flip back over here to Detroit. And then there we go. So actually, I was looking at Cleveland. Cleveland was the most updated data. So this is the storm right here that is heading up to the north. And I think there's actually an updated frame from there. No, that's probably the closest. So just updated again. It may have slightly weakened wind-wise, which is good. Still seeing some fairly strong wind gusts in there, up to getting into the 70s potentially. And it's this cell that's heading, not the one that's over Chatham Kent right now, but it's the cell that is in Deal Town, or heading towards Deal Town, just coming off of the water. So that's the one we're watching closely. And yeah, it does have a little bit of damaging wind potential. It's still quite marginal at this point, so we'll just have to keep watching it closely. There are some more storms coming in from the south here that we're keeping a close eye on as well. This beastly looking storm here, just south of southwest of extreme southwestern Ontario, down here in Essex County. That one is looking interesting as well. We should probably go over and one thing we've got set up today, which is a little bit different than normal, is we've been working on this thing called the 3D Weatherverse. I don't know if you've seen anything we've posted about it. Hi, Richard. How's it going from Stainer? But yeah, we can go take a look at these storms in volumetric 3D, which is kind of interesting and exciting to do. So let me just pull it up here on the screen, and let's go ahead and take a peek over at that. So I want to take a peek at the storm that is over near Cleveland right now, which is what you're seeing at the moment. So this is actually being rendered in real time from real data. We've got lightning data in here as well too. We've got severe probabilities, and we can take a peek at the storm cell itself. And I'll show you some interesting stuff of how we actually come to create this particular visualization of a storm, which is pretty exciting stuff. Into the 3D Weatherverse, says Lord of the Fries on Twitch. Yeah, so it's really interesting to be able to see it in its full volumetric state. So I'm going to show you something. I'm going to go into our creator mode here. If I bring down the radar density to 0.001, it goes away. But if I bring up the summary, this is the actual radar data that we're using to visualize it. So you can see, red being heavy rain. If I were to cut this down here, you can get into hail once we see blue. Currently, I don't think there's too much. Maybe over here, there's a little bit of hail to the west. But if I bring it up, you can see all the way into, the rain. And so red would be heavy rain, of course. Green would be the lighter rain. But that's actually the data we're using to create the simulation here. So if I go to radar density, what was it again? 0.8, I think? Or was it 8? There we go. Okay, so I'll bring down the show summary to 0.3 or so. And then what we're actually doing too is we're using the wind data. So we're using the velocity data to move the clouds. So yeah, so we're actually taking we're taking the wind data from the radar to say what direction the clouds need to go in and at how much intensity. And so all of that is updating in real time, and it's pretty exciting stuff. So seeing some pretty cool. Michelle says, "Love the technology. Thank you so much." Joseph says, "How do I get to use that?" So it's currently in its alpha test, and we're working on it to get it launched. We partnered with a company in Australia called Geosynergy, and we've been working on this for the past year, and it's been really exciting. We've had a lot of interest from the flight simulator community, and we're eventually going to create a way to storm chase safely. So I can actually right now just click a button and drop a car, and we can go drive around and have these storms above us. So we're going to create a way to actually storm chase storms in real time in a video game. Basically, this is using it's just updated there. This is using Unreal Engine 5, which is like the most breaking technology for visualization. They use this in like the Mandalorian, right? And like if you look in the Mandalorian background, where you see it all desert and there's like sand blowing around and stuff, it's done in Unreal Engine. They do it on these huge LED walls, so they're not even doing green screen anymore. They're actually putting the actor inside of the simulation, which is pretty cool stuff. So but yeah, so pretty strong winds here heading into Merlin, Chatham, Kent. Nothing too significant yet. We sent a notification for severe thunderstorm potential, but we haven't gone to the point of saying damaging wind risk yet. We said there's a chance of damaging winds, but we're not there at this point in time. Yeah, and one thing we want to do with this, which is really interesting, is to be able to actually use the data to spawn like a tornado underneath the storm. So I can actually do this. I can simulate this right now for you if you'd like to see what it looks like, because it's actually quite stunning. But so we want to do it when, so there have to be a few check boxes before we're going to simulate a tornado in real time. But it'd be like, a tornado warning comes out and says, tornado on the ground, reported by a spotter. So if we have confirmation of that tornado on the ground in real time, then we can actually spawn it and put it in place. We probably actually do it all automatically, which is the idea. So it will automatically spawn the rotation. Like initially, it'll spawn like a wall cloud rotating, and then eventually it'll actually touch it down to the ground, so we can see where the potential tornado would be in real time, which would actually be super super exciting and cool. So a lot of great comments about it. Cool. I'm let's see here. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Michelle. Thank you so much, Sophia. Yeah, it looks like 1 second here. Oh no, Sophia's a spam bot. Felt some energy around you that is very important. Yeah, that's no. This is definitely. This is yeah. No, that's a no. If anybody ever messages you like, I really love your comments, they're so wonderful, blah 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 blah, block. Make sure you block that spam. Those spam bots are brutal. They're trying to catfish you. Anyways, but yeah, so this is some cool stuff that we're working on. And I think it's a little more impactful because, as exciting as, and we're doing a lot of different stuff. So we're also launching Instant Weather Pro. So this is great for analyzing a storm and for swiping over and seeing the different velocity values. So if I go, if we're checking out radar and I swipe it over, you can go and see every little pixel and see what the details are. We can see rotation. We can see all those values. And I think that's really, really important as well, too. So Instant Weather Pro, we're super excited about launching this. And we're also excited about launching the 3D Weatherverse, too, because it's something, if you've been with us for a long time, we came up with the very first 3D weather, the 3D radar app that has literally ever came out on mobile. It was called Tornado GPS many, many years ago. But it was a lot more basic. It was kind of like a red blob that represented the storm structure. So using the same data as this, but the technology just wasn't there back in 2015. But obviously now, things have gotten a little bit more wild with the technology. So Ange says, do you have an estimated time for Pro to come out? So we're aiming for end of May to get a beta test out there. And yeah, that's the idea. So end of May, potentially early June, but the idea is we've got so much of it lined up that we think we can hit an end of May target. We're trying our best to hit that. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that is the idea. So we're definitely trying for that. As far as the 3D Weatherverse is concerned, it's going really, really well. So I could see it coming out this summer as well, too. And I'll show you some really interesting examples from this as well. So let's go fly up. Let's go take a look around. We can actually bring in any radar station right now. So let's go, and that's Canadian radar as well too, which is kind of a dream of mine. I'm going to go up here, fly over to, let's see here. Where are we? London's right here. There's London, Ontario. Um, and let's see. Let's pull up the CASET radar. We call it CASET, I guess if you pronounce it, it's CASET. So I'm going to first go into our layers. I'm going to remove the Cleveland radar from this, remove radar provider, and then I'm going to add the Canadian radar here so we can see that as well too in real time. So let's load that up and see what we've got. So the storms that are currently in southern Ontario, not that exciting. There's a little bit of lightning, some heavy rain. It's the stuff that's coming up from kind of the Cleveland area and south of the border. There's a marginal risk for severe weather. Again, it's marginal, so we could see some really isolated damaging wind gusts. The National Weather Service came out and said they weren't going to issue a severe thunderstorm watch because if there is severe thunderstorm uh, if there is isolated severe thunderstorms, they're gonna be really isolated. So it's gonna be like one cell that has strong winds that moves through our area. So there's kind of that potential today. But we thought we want to live stream as much as we possibly can because there are times we have to miss events and that sucks. But we want to live stream as much as we can. So to show off all this fun stuff as well too is interesting. Let me change the lighting here. We can make the lighting better. It'll be cool. Let's see here. We can go straight to nighttime, or let's see if we can get some good shadows on here. There we go. That's a little bit better. Cool. So these are the current storms right now. Let's see. We got Sarnia back here. Let me zoom into Sarnia. So these are the storms over Sarnia at the moment. Again, there's some lightning in there. There is some heavy rain, but right now they're not too exciting. But again, the stuff coming up from the south is what we're watching closely, and it's definitely interesting. Terry says this is cool. I love it. Thanks so much, Terry. Appreciate it. Linda says, appreciate your time, Adam, from 4 minutes. Not a problem. Love to do. That's what we do. Let's see here. Uh, oh, no. Okay, sorry. 1 second here. So many comments flying past. Jess says, fantastic. Almost cinematic views. Haha. Instead of Sharknado, you could do a weatherado. Yeah, it'll be. I mean, we want to add so much to this. We want to add snowfall, snow squalls, blizzards, all that kind of stuff. It's gonna be pretty exciting to see all that. So, yeah. So these storms are pretty interesting. But again, the ones over by Cleveland are the ones we're watching closely here. So, let me actually head over to Cleveland. Let me just fly over. We can actually fly right out of the earth, actually, if we wanted to. Like, hold on a second here. Um, let's here. Let me get rid of this, and I'll just show you that. So it's not just limited to certain areas. We're dealing with the entire Earth here. So let me just fly out. And again, this is an Unreal Engine 5, which is the most insane. It's the same stuff they actually used to make Fortnite. So if you've heard of Fortnite before, Fortnite is based on Unreal Engine 5. It's from Epic, but yeah, let's see here. Amy says, I'm really liking this video you have. Is this from a drone or satellite? So this is actually, what we're doing is we're taking radar data, volumetric radar data. So all 17 scans of the radar scans this way, this way, this way, this way. So, it's circling around and it's scanning higher and higher and higher. And then it creates a volumetric scan. And we're taking all of that data and putting in, we're going to be putting in Fortnado. Yeah, exactly. You could do weather and traffic. Yeah, we could do it all, right? So yeah, we're going to be putting in satellite data on like as a kind of top down layer. So if you'd look like this, you would be able to see the satellite data. And let me go back to Cleveland here. Sorry if I move around too quickly. I don't want to give anybody motion sickness, but I can't help myself. I like to fly around in this like Neo. Okay, so I'm going to load up the Cleveland radar again. Let me just add the latest radar there. So Joe says, can this be adjusted to just show the relative storm velocities within individual cells? Yeah, and so I was mentioning earlier, I don't know if you caught it, but we're actually using the relative storm velocities to to visualize how the storms are moving. So when you see these storms and you can see how they're moving forward, that is all done based on the actual volumetric wind data. So the wind data, even higher, like we're not just taking like the surface data either. Every single layer of radar is powering every single layer of the storm simulation. So again, like if you look at this, and then I go back into my creator mode here, I take radar density down to 0.00001. I bring my summary up. This is the actual radar data that is powering this storm. So we're using this radar data as far as the precipitation is concerned. And then if I bring that back down to 0.3 and I bring my radar density back up to 8, voila, we have the simulated storm from that. So Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. Trish says, will this be in the app or a different one? So Instant Weather Pro, which we've been working on for a long time, this will be in our Instant Weather app. This is, again, it's a website. This is literally HTML, JavaScript. It's a pretty breakthrough that we're able to do this in JavaScript. So it's kind of a revolutionary thing. I don't think there's been an interactive a website, especially with Canadian radar, that has been in JavaScript as a website that can perform this well and be this performant um, as a website. So this will actually be available. The cool thing about it being a website too is that you'll be able to have as many windows open as you want. So normally with the current radar programs out there, it's an executable file, so you can open up like one. You can open up one window, and then you want to change radars. But if you have a lot of monitors like me today, how many I've got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and my phone is 8. So if you have lots of monitors like me, you can have, on this screen alone, I could put 4 radars here and 4 radars there, and it's just a Chrome tab. So you can as many Chrome tabs as you want to open, you can. The more you open, the more performance is gonna it's gonna require. But Knights, please give us this URL. The URL says Nightburn. It's almost ready. We're definitely going to be launching it. It will be a subscription service, but it's going to be reasonably priced, and we'll definitely have it out relatively soon. We're aiming for the end of May with it. But have you heard about tacos on YouTube? Says shush and take my money. What is that? The creator of The Simpsons with Futurama. It's that Futurama gif I always think of with that. Um, Andrea says, I might not understand the technology, but that's why we have you, Adam. Oh, thank you so much, Andrea. It's all good. I try to help my best. So this is Jeff has a good question. How does the data compare to Radar Scope? So Radar Scope's another great app. It's equivalent in its raw, super high resolution data. So it's equivalent, but we have some really cool features that you can't get in any other apps. One of them being the ability to swipe between the two the two products. So this is really exciting because in a lot of cases you want to get right down and swipe between, so you can see exactly, like if there was rotation right here, we could swipe and then see that rotation, and we would know that it's in the right spot, because sometimes it looks like the rotation's in the right spot, but then when you go and you actually analyze the data, it's very separated from it, so it ends up actually being noise and not true rotation. So that's why it's really nice to be able to swipe between the two products, and that's something that hasn't ever been available ever. So yeah, it's been good. Karen says, on Terra Stormwatch, any rotation, possible rotation? No, we're not seeing rotation, and we're not expecting too much of it today. Today, the main risk is going to be damaging wind gusts with these storms coming in. I'm going to jump back to the 3D Weatherverse that we're creating. And you can see these storms coming in from Cleveland are the ones we're watching closely. They've got some hefty winds on them, so we want to make sure that we're keeping a close eye on them as they track into our region here. So we're watching this very carefully as they come north. They're under special marine alerts from the U.S. on the U.S. side, and they have the potential to create some brief, isolated damaging wind gusts today. Maybe a little bit of hail, and maybe a little bit of flooding as well too. Yeah, so as you can see, it's pretty interesting that we're able to simulate the storms now in real time based on real radar data, and to this quality. Like, this cinematic quality is really cool. Somebody asked if this is going to be available in our app. So no, this is a separate program, and it's the equivalent to downloading a video game. So if like if you have like a PlayStation or an Xbox and you have to download a video game, this is gigabytes of file size. So it's not like our nice little app is like 24 megabytes, and it's a really quick download, and it's really super sleek and easy to install and all kind of stuff. I mean, this will be easy to install as well, but it'll definitely be like a download to your PC, or we can actually put it out on Xbox and PlayStation as well. And then we could do a website version of it. We have to do with something called pixel streaming, but we could do a website version of it, and that would actually make it so it would be a lot easier for just like basic devices to be able to run it. It requires quite a bit of computer power, but the new gaming consoles will be able to handle it no problem. Yeah, and obviously technology is just moving so ridiculously fast right now that it's not going to take long for the computer in your pocket to be equivalent to, of course, like powerful PCs. So they just keep moving very, very quickly. So anyways, it's pretty cool stuff. So yeah. How are things on Peely? Knight says, Adam, please make it subscribe through Google subscriptions so it's easier to pay and able to use Google to log into the app. Please make a Discord server. Yeah, we've already built a Discord server. We haven't launched it yet, but we definitely will. Jess says, so will this be an app game for Android and Apple? Yeah, this will be available for Android and Apple as well too. So basically anything that like Fortnite can run on, this can run on. So I know Apple and Epic Games got in a little bit of a battle over Fortnite. So I think Fortnite got pulled from the App Store, but this will still be available. We'll be able to launch this as an app, so for Android and Apple, and also launch it for PC and Mac and Xbox and PlayStation. So, but I mean, it is going to be fun because you'll be able to storm chase in real time. But ultimately, this is also just a great tool for us to use while we're live streaming to show a storm, show which direction it's going. You can actually see the storm, see the lightning strikes. We can spawn a simulated tornado under a storm and all that kind of stuff as well too. So Trish says, I just watch on my phone, so it would take up too much space. I mean, you don't necessarily need this to watch. This is a really cool visualization tool. But you can still be able to watch the stream in the same way that you watch it now. It's not gonna change things. So, but it's gonna be pretty interesting. So this is interesting. Chris says they do what Environment Canada does. They copy all their weather info. So just to clarify, we definitely try to complement Environment Canada by providing real time tracking of storms on the live stream. We do use Environment Canada data, so we're using Environment Canada radar data. But on our app, we're actually pulling in data from many, many different sources. Lots of data from the U.S., pulling in European data. There is a lot of data, more so than just what Environment Canada puts out there that we use. So, but Environment Canada is great, and we pull in all their data because it's fantastic. But yeah, we definitely try to complement what they're doing, and add a little bit of granularity on top of that. So, um, can you show a tornado spawn? Okay, I will do this. So there currently is no tornado. So I just want to clarify this. There's no tornado under the storm, but I will spawn a simulated tornado if you want. Okay, let me know in the comments if you want to see a simulated tornado, and I will spawn that for you here. 1 second. Sherry says, "Can you explain what is actually coming this way? Received Google alert for rain at 6 p.m." Yeah, so currently, most of these storms are just going to be lightning and heavy rain, maybe a little bit of hail, but there is some potential, some very isolated potential. I'm not even sure if Environment Canada is going to issue a severe thunderstorm watch. They might at some point in time, but that's up to them. But there's a little bit of potential for some damaging wind gusts, and that's what we've been watching closely. There's a marginal risk from the U.S. that encompasses southern Ontario, and there's some pretty hefty storms, basically down here by Cleveland. That's what we're watching right now. So these storms down by Cleveland, they are certainly worth paying attention to. And as they move north into our area, we're going to want to see what they're capable of. One of them is actually in the States. One of them is under a severe thunderstorm warning right now. So let me just take a peek at that. Um, Cleveland, Ohio Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for, let's see here, in north central Ohio, Erie County in north central Ohio. And they're talking about moving northeast of 45 miles per hour. Hazard is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So they are seeing some storms. This storm is just about to head over Lake Erie, maybe towards the St. Thomas areas, and it's moving to the northeast. And they're talking about 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, which are damaging. So 60 would be north of 90 kilometers an hour for us. So yeah, so there is severe thunderstorms in the Cleveland area that we're watching closely here. So I'm just going to scroll through the comments here and see if folks wanted to see that. Let's do it. Says, look, it's B. Everyone said, of course, everyone on Twitch is like, yeah, spawn the fake tornado. Let's see here. Tornado now. Spawn away. Okay. As long as everybody knows that this is not a real tornado, then we're good. Let's see here. Samantha says it'd be really cool to download this on PC and view it on the Oculus. Yeah, so we're definitely going to be doing VR, MR, augmented reality stuff with it for sure. I mean, that only makes sense, right? To have something like this and to not strap a headset on. I mean, that would be really, really, really cool. So that'd be interesting to see. Let me just scroll down here. Give me 1 second here. Oh, EC just interesting. EC just issued a warning in Windsor, says Joe. Oh, thank you. Well, there you go. So, Environment Canada has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Essex County, most likely because the severe thunderstorm warning has been issued on the storm in Cleveland. And it's moving to the northeast. Although there is some pretty heavy duty storms right now in Essex County. So let me just go take a peek at some radar values there. Um, okay, yeah. So they have issued a severe thunderstorm warning for the deep southwest. Let me just double check here. It looks like it was just issued. Da, 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 da. Give me just one moment. But yeah, so this is the storm we're watching from Cleveland that is moving towards us. Um, and oh, yeah, a lot of folks are saying they wanted a tornado simulation. Okay, I'm gonna simulate what a tornado would look like in this, but remember there is not a tornado on this storm, but I will simulate it quickly. We're gonna do this in real time when there is tornado risks as well too. We think it's gonna be pretty interesting. So let me just tweak some stuff here. I'm gonna bring the summary down to 0.03, and I'm going to bring the radar density up a little bit. Yeah, that should be good. Okay. So when we're in creator mode here, and again, this is something not available yet, but this is called the 3D Weatherverse. It's something we've been working on with this wonderful company in Australia called Geosynergy, and we're partnering with them to create this. And yeah, let's just spawn a little tornado here. So again, there's not a tornado on the storm. We're just showing this as an example of something we could do in real time here. But let's bring the multiplier up to 4, and let me just back up here. So this is let me bring down the playback speed to 0.6. There we go. So let me actually, if I can do this a little bit better, I can bring this over and put it underneath the storm. So it would be something to this extent, um, and there's a few different models of it we can use, but it's interesting to see what it would look like in real time. Let's see here. So getting some cool feedback for it. Yeah. So let me see. I want to actually bring it out so you can kind of have a look at the model a little bit better. So let's do this. There we go. And if I actually bring down the geographic offset, I think it will look a little bit better if we put it a little bit further into the surface. Something like this would make more sense. So, and this is a good question. So Caden says, if there was a real tornado, would it move? Yeah. So the idea is that this would actually move in real time with the storm, based on the data itself. So let me go into my settings here. I just want to make a few tweaks. I think I should be able to bring down the tracing distance, and that should give this a bit of a better look here. So there we go. This should work once it resets. Oh, there we go. Okay, so actually, one second here. Let me turn that off and apply. There we go. Okay, and for some reason it went smaller. Oh, I see. I got to bring that back to 1920 by 1080. Would that make more sense? Yeah, that's better for sure. Cool. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, that's a little bit less noise in it there. So, anyways, that's basically what a simulated tornado would look like. And again, we would pull it and put it underneath whatever particular storm we were watching. There is no current tornado at the moment, but if we had, and there's actually real lightning data you can see over here that we're spawning right now. So there are no tornadoes on the ground. This is completely simulated. Just wanted to clarify there is no tornadoes on the ground, but this is something we plan to do when there is actually a tornado risk. We plan to spawn something like this so we can actually demonstrate that there is a risk and show folks where it's going. So, um, Daniel says, "What do you mean? I can see it right here." No, no. So that's definitely not an actual tornado. One second here. Let me let me get rid of it so you know it doesn't exist here. So let me just click remove, and there it goes away. Cool. So let's fly up here and take a look at these storms. These are the ones in Cleveland that we're watching closely. Let's go fly. You can see actually the Cleveland, you can literally see the Cleveland radars right here, and you can see the scan rings of the different elevations of what we're watching. So, but again, there is a severe thunderstorm warning for Essex County, I believe. Let me just double check here. Yeah, so Environment Canada did issue a severe thunderstorm warning for Essex County, for Windsor, for Leamington, and all surrounding areas here. And let's go over and see that storm. I believe it's these storms they're watching here that they're keeping a close eye on. And again, this is new technology. So if you're just joining us, this is something we've been working on called the 3D Weatherverse. And all of the motion in the clouds is actually, we're not just pretending to create motion in the clouds. We're using the wind data to move the clouds in the direction that the wind data says the clouds are moving. So all of that is actually done purposefully with the data, which is really interesting. So let's go fly over here to Windsor and see this particular storm here. I'm going to switch to Detroit radar, I think. That's the current storm in Essex County. If I fly out, you can see them here. Let's take a peek here. Let's actually switch to Detroit radar to see. I'm just going to go into layers. I'm going to get rid of this radar provider, and I'm going to load up the Detroit radar. Give me just one sec. It will load up, and we can see the storms that are currently there. Let me just go into the details here on the particular warning. Give me just one second here. Da-da-da-da-da. Actually, I'll just load it up on our app because I know I'll get all the details. Sometimes the full details aren't available on other apps, unfortunately. So let me just pull it up here. I'll pull up Windsor on our app, Instant Weather. If you haven't downloaded our app yet, please do so. Okay, so we actually have the more details from it. There's a severe thunderstorm located 5 kilometers southwest of Essex County, moving northeast at 80 kilometers an hour while they're flying today. Hazards are 90-kilometer-an-hour wind gusts. Yeah, so like we were saying before, the main risks today are going to be damaging wind gusts. Those are the main risks for sure. They said 5 kilometers southwest of Essex. That's interesting that they said that because I think the stronger storm right now is the one down by Cleveland that is under a severe thunderstorm warning. But perhaps they're talking about. That's interesting that they said southwest. I don't know if that may have been a bit of a mistake. Maybe they're talking about the storm that's already over the county right now. But anyway, so there is a storm to the southeast that's really strong as well too, and that's definitely the one we're paying attention here. Let me just scroll down so you can see these storms here. There we go. So this is the particular storms that are east of Windsor right now. Let me just zoom in on them. Yeah, so there's a storm that's east of Windsor at the moment. It may be producing a little bit of hail as well too. What about you? But I love looking at storms like this. This is like we've been working so hard on this for so long, and I'm just so excited about. I've always had this dream about visualizing storms like in their full volumetric stage, and to actually be able to see storms in their full volumetric in real time. It's just like so many years of research and work, and it's crazy. I'm so excited about it. So and then like again, we could just literally drop a car right here. Okay, let me know if you want me to drop a vehicle down and drive into the storm. So um we have that ability as well too. So it's over Lake St. Clair at the moment, this particular storm. I'm not 100% sure if this is the storm that Environment Canada was referring to in their severe thunderstorm warning. I have a feeling they're actually referring to the storms that are coming in from the south. Um, Drop a car says car now says Nightburn. Oh, it's funny. Kleptorat says, will this 3D verse be 3D weatherverse be free? So we might have a free version of it. There's a lot of server power required to make it go, so it'll probably be a subscription service. But yeah, we'll try to make it as reasonable as possible. But yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff. I am stoked about it. One second here. Can you tell I'm excited about it? I don't know. Can you tell? I'm super excited. Let me jump back to Instant Weather Pro here. So this is another app we're also launching. We've been busy. So just in case, if you wonder why we're so quiet, we've been busy. Thankfully, Brendan's not quiet. He's he's awesome. Brendan's the man. So he's been very active, but we're keeping a close eye on this, and this is the storm right now that's over Lake St. Clair that we're watching. So there's something going on with velocity here. Just a little bit of broad rotation, nothing too significant. Again, the main risks today are going to be damaging wind gusts. Yeah. So, oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to go live on TikTok. There we go. We're going live on TikTok right now. That's, yeah, might as well. Cool. So welcome to all our TikTok viewers. We are going live right now. A huge hello to all those who are joining us on Twitch, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. We try to stream as many different places as we can. Yeah, it's what we do. So we're just keeping an eye right now on these storms in southwestern Ontario. Environment Canada has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Essex County, and likely there is a decent storm over Essex County right now, but um, there also is a pretty nasty storm coming in from the south. So it makes sense that they've issued the severe thunderstorm warning. And there is again some storms coming in from the U.S. that we're watching closely. And yeah, so I think I got a lot of feedback that I need to drop a car in our new 3D weatherverse. So I'll work on that. Give me just 1 second here. Just having a look at a whole bunch of different data. Okay. Let's go back to the 3D weatherverse again. It's something we've been working on for quite a while, and it's pretty exciting. 1 second here. I just saw that incredible comment. I don't know if the entire comment's going to show up on the screen here. Oh, it does. Okay. I'll have to make this full screen to be able to read it. 1 second here. So Chell says, because you're talking about Windsor, back in 2016, I think it was Ontario Storm Watch, were the first ones to tell us of a touchdown tornado that hit LaSalle and then Windsor. I got the alert from them using a minute and 20 seconds before any other official weather app back then. Ontario Storm Watch was only using Facebook to notify people. I was able to let my family know right away. The warehouse my best friend worked in at the time got hit because we knew where it was heading. No one got hurt. I love you guys. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shell. That was a crazy event. Yeah, for sure. That was we did have our text message alerts out then. I don't think we didn't have our app out yet, but we did send a bunch of text messages out to folks who were in the path of that one. Yeah, that was that was an EF2 that went through Windsor. And it was actually Mark Robinson from the Weather Network who first spotted it and posted it to Twitter. And we saw it on radar at the same time. And then we saw his confirmation of the funnel cloud. And we're like, okay. So we sent out a notification. And that was an unfortunate event where the tornado warning didn't come out until after the tornado was over, unfortunately. So that can happen at sometimes. There was a shift changeover, and there was all these reasons that it happened, unfortunately. But yeah, we tried to get the word out as fast as we possibly could. Yeah, that was a pretty big event for us. I remember we got interviewed by CBC and all this kind of stuff, and they were wondering how we're able to notify so quickly and all that. And anyways, it comes down also to this wonderful community, because a lot of our reports, the vast majority of our reports come from the community. And definitely join us on Ontario Storm Reports, because it's a great place to share. It's a great place to share all of your reports with not just us, but the entire community. Janice says, stupid question. By the way, there's no stupid question. The only stupid question is the one you don't ask. But what does it mean when it says severe thunderstorm forecast, not a watch or warning? So a severe thunderstorm forecast is from us. So when you look at the top of our app, we try to make it very, very clear. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I should be able to actually, let me just flip back to like my entire camera so you can see as much of this as I'm trying to show you. So when you look at our app, you see severe thunderstorm warning. But if you look on this side right here, you can see government alert. So when you see government alert there, and then you switch to something like our severe thunderstorm forecast, you can see the green screen going away right there. But if you look over here, it says instant update. So if you see instant update over here, that's from us. And then if you click on the severe thunderstorm warning, if I can tap it, come on. And then it says government alert right there. So that's basically, we're trying to make it very clear if something is us notifying folks. And then we also send out, of course, any watch. If it's a watch, warning, advisory, or statement, those all come from Environment Canada. We'll never issue a watch, warning, advisory, or statement. Those terms are Environment Canada's. So if you ever see something like rotation detected, that's from us. If you see severe thunderstorm potential, severe thunderstorm forecast, tornado potential, damaging wind risk, all of these terms, those are all from us. But if you see anything that's warning, watch, statement, or advisory, that's from Environment Canada. So anyways, look to the top left of the little notification there, and you'll see either government alert or instant update. So we send out both of those. Again, we try to complement what Environment Canada does and give more rapid updates for severe weather. So that's what we do. Let's see here. No weather warnings for Toronto this time. Yeah, no weather warnings for Toronto. We are not really expecting severe weather to get too intense in the Toronto area. Lindsay says there might be some thunderstorms, though. Lindsay says, how to get app. Oh, so we should probably put up a link to it here. Download our free app. It's called Instant Weather. You can get it at instantweatherapp.com, or just go to the App Store and type Instant Weather and look for the one that looks like this. This is our app. If it looks like this is our app. If it has that Instant Weather logo at the very top, it'll be like the IW logo, and so that's the Instant Weather app. So definitely download that. If you use our app, please let folks in the comments know if you like it or not. Let us know what if you're enjoying it or if you're not, and all that kind of stuff. So let's see here. Sorry, it's reading some comments here in the background. Let me flip back to radar so we can keep taking a peek at these storms. Um, I'm at the Detroit radar right now. Let me make sure I got the Cleveland radar loaded up, and let's see what's coming in here. So some strong winds, probably moving into the Chatham-Kent areas. It looks like more just heavy rain though. It's these storms to the south that we're a little bit concerned with, and then there is this storm over Essex County right now, which is producing some hail. Actually, it's over Lake St. Clair at the moment, and it's moving to the northeast. But Environment Canada did issue a severe thunderstorm warning on that particular storm, and we're watching it closely. Hey, folks, joining us from Go Leafs Go on TikTok from Niagara Falls. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for the follows, everybody. Appreciate that. Thanks to those who are sending in stars on Facebook, which is like a tip jar. Those who are sending in super chats on YouTube. Those who are sending in gifts on TikTok. We appreciate all of that. It makes a huge difference. Thank you so much. And a huge thank you to all those who have subscribed on our app to remove ads and to extend the future radar out 5 hours. So huge thank you to those who've done that as well. It's pretty critical for us to keep this thing afloat. So we sincerely appreciate it. Lisa says, love the app. Thank you so much. Maria says, love the app. Thank you kindly. Janice says, love your app. Thank you very much. Jamie says, love the app. And Lindsay found it. Never mind, found it. She said, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you kindly, everyone. And then we're working on all this other crazy stuff. So let me flip back to the 3D Weatherverse here. Let me go show you this, which is pretty interesting. I was asking folks if you wanted me to put down a car, and a lot of folks said yes. So it's kind of one part of this is that we're building a storm chasing video game because it's a lot safer to chase storms in real time on a video game than it is to do it in real life. That obviously just driving around in a storm is always dangerous. So um, yeah, so that's one part of this. But the other part is that I'm going to be using it more and more to live stream because I think it's a little bit more impactful sometimes to, when you're looking at radar, like, Instant Weather Pro is great to see the top down bird's eye view, to really go deep into the data and pinpoint every single pixel to see what the kind of wind gusts are for every little interval. But when you're talking about actionable impact, to be able to see the actual storm visualized in its full volumetric detail like this. This is just super exciting. And then, of course, to be able to just throw a vehicle down on the road and go for a drive. So might as well do that here. I think so. We're actually using high resolution satellite data to put on the ground and elevation data. So we're going to work on this and make it even better, where we procedurally generate nice roads and trees and grass and farm fields and buildings and all this kind of stuff. So we're going to definitely get into that stuff. But let me just click the little storm chaser button here. And we'll just throw down, I guess, a van. A van seems like it went into the earth. Let me bring it back up. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna switch though. I don't want a van. I'm gonna go sedan. All right, let's flip to a car here. So bring back to creator tools, and then we can just literally drive this around and and storm chase storms in real time. So this is kind of fun. I think it's going to be really interesting. So and the roads are a little bit bumpy, but it's nice to be able to drive around and actually see these storms in real time. And then, like we talked about before, we're going to be spawning in real time. We're going to be spawning tornadoes when they're confirmed by storm spotters, and so we can see exactly where a tornado is in real time and where it's moving. But yeah, I mean, it's also just kind of fun to these roads are a little bumpy, but it's also kind of fun to use this. I'm just gonna go back to Zeus mode. We literally call it Zeus mode, where we can just fly around into it. But all of these wind gusts, these are actually the wind gusts in the clouds are based on the wind data, which is we're not just saying, oh, let's make the clouds spin and move around like this. It's actually based on the actual wind data. We can go in there and tweak it to make it a little bit more intense or not visually. But it's all based on actual wind data, which is really, really interesting. So So that's the full volumetric storm here. Let me go back and let's use. I think we could probably use Detroit radar right now. Let me just switch to this here. So are we using? One second here. Give me just a moment. I'm going to flip back to Instant Weather Pro here. And let's just take a deep dive quick, and then I'll go and switch radars in the 3D Weatherverse. So, um, oh, Deb says, can you please show the app, what the app looks like one more time so I know I have the right one? Yeah, for sure. I think there is another app called Instant Weather that's not ours, or it's called Insta Weather. Ours is Instant, the full word. So it looks like this. So that logo at the very top, that's our logo. So it's got the I. Our app has the IW, which is like when you first load it. Let's see if I can bring it up here. So when you first load it, it's got that. Oh, I went so quick. Oh, there's my berry forecast here, but let me bring it back to Windsor. Yeah, so Windsor's still under a severe thunderstorm warning from Environment Canada. So that's our app. It looks like this. That's ours. What? It's trying to focus on my face. There we go. That's our app right there. Yeah, that's the one. So anywho, oh, it's talking about actually our app says that if you click these little hold on, I'll try to show you this here. I have to keep getting my face out of the way. If you click this area, anywhere on this area, if you can see there, it says the wind gusts in Windsor are getting up to 80 kilometers an hour. So that's a pretty windy storm. It's a pretty windy storm. I think that it's probably died down now that that storm has moved off to the east, but that's pretty windy stuff. So it's definitely worth keeping an eye on here. Yeah, so that severe thunderstorm warning is continued. Looks like some strong winds are moving into the Chatham-Kent areas right now as well too. Let me just flip to different radars. Trying to watch a lot of data in the background here. Let's see here. Yes, Alana. I've got a land in my ear here. Hold on a sec. Oh wow. Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely bring that up. Looks like there's Tempest Hunter on Twitter has a really great shot of that shelf cloud moving in, which might be slightly more realistic than the 3D Weatherverse here if we see an actual photo of it. So, um, give me just one sec. I'm going to bring that up just a moment. Okay, where did it go here? There we are. Okay. So I think I've got Ontario storm reports. Oh, sorry, it's on Twitter actually. Okay, let me just pull up Twitter here. Give me one second. I've got it all prepared. I just need to go find it. All right. Thank you, Lana. Appreciate that. Nice to see actual photos of these storms. Whoa! Actually, let me just pull this up here. I'm gonna pull up Twitter because there's some amazing shots right now. Let me just go into studio mode and flip to Twitter, and it should come up. Where did it go? Come back, Twitter. Come back. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, let's flip to Twitter. Cool. So this is a PHOS 3 images. And what is their handle here? Let me just say they are underscore PHOS3. So definitely go and follow them. They have some incredible photos and videos at times. So at underscore PHOS3. And that is from Chatham, Kent. That is the shelf cloud right there of that storm moving in, which is pretty impressive. That's quite the bending of the neck to get that shot of that shelf moving in. Wow, looks wild. Let's just scroll down and take a look. Okay, here is Dorito Dog Cody. So at Dorito Dog Cody, this is the shelf cloud over Lake St. Clair. So pretty impressive stuff. As you can see, that's the shelf right there, the shelf cloud moving in. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. So if you were down in that area, let us know what you're experiencing. Hopefully it's not too bad. Radar has indicated that there's definitely some strong wind gusts down there. It looks like there's likely some pretty strong wind gusts east of Chatham-Kent right now. I mean, they're showing up pretty darn strong from Canadian radar here. Let me go flip back and let's see if we have the um, let's see if we have the latest data for that. Let me switch to Instant Weather Pro. Again, Instant Weather Pro is not available yet, but it will be an in-app purchase within our existing app. But look at the wind values down here. So if you look at the top right of my screen, 89.28 kilometers an hour, 89, 88. And these aren't isolated either. This is actually quite a swath here. And it is located underneath heavy precipitation. So east of Chatham, Kent, near Blenheim. If you are near Blenheim, let us know what you're experiencing because definitely some pretty strong wind gusts right now. I'm going to take the Instant Weather app link off the page here, but yeah, definitely download our app. It's free. It's called Instant Weather. You can get it for free at instantweatherapp.com. Go download it for Apple or Android. And yeah, I'm just going to make sure we have the latest from Cassett here. And yeah, those wind gusts right here. Let's see what that is. 89.28. Yeah, these are, we can get right down to the pixel, right down to the street level here. I mean, this is literally buildings. We can get pretty far in there with Instant Weather Pro. And as I swipe over, yeah, heavy precipitation there. And heavy precipitation is also associated with 90-kilometer-an-hour wind gusts. So there is potential for some damaging wind gusts near Blenheim, near Eatonville, Mull, Ridgetown. And these are moving to the northeast. So let's take a peek at that really quick here. I'm just going to hit animate, and we can see which way they're going. I'm going to slow that down because I've got that sped up to 20 times. Let's go to 2 times. 2 times is a little nicer to look at. There we go. So you can see which way they're going. They're going to the northeast. And these winds are increasing in strength. That just went over Blenheim and now heading up towards Thamesville. And where else here? Bothwell, Turin. Yeah, if you're in the path of this particular strengthening storm, because it looks quite strong actually, and it looks like heading towards Beechwood. Let's actually go right down here and see. It's passing Mall Road, Ridgeline, Kent Bridge, and heading up towards Ridgetown, Beechwood, Botany, Thamesville, Moraviantown, Moraviantown, I think so, Clachan, Bothwell, and eventually towards Newbury. And let's just back this out to see which way it's going. So this storm may head towards, it looks like it may head towards London eventually, or Strathroy, Glencoe. But it is heading, let's see, let's just try to get the actual direction of it here. So you can see it right, it's going this way. So it might actually miss London to the west unless it decides to take a little bit of a right-hand turn. But if you're in Strathroy, Glencoe, Thamesville, east of Chatham, Kent, northeast of Chatham, Kent, that storm is coming in pretty hot, and it looks like it's got some strong winds to it. So that's what we were expecting today. We were expecting, damaging wind potential, and it looks like it's hanging out here and getting pretty strong. So, oh, I see that. Yeah, I see that there. So new severe thunderstorm warning for Sarnia. Thank you, Lena. For Sarnia, looks like Sarnia, Sombra, Oil City, Petrolia, Wyoming. I wouldn't be surprised if they put one on this storm that's east of Chatham, Kent, because it's looking on radar like the strongest cell. But what they're doing is they're alerting this cell that's heading towards Wallaceburg, Port Lambton. Wallaceburg, I don't think is in the severe thunderstorm warning, or it might be because this might be low resolution. I have to double check. Let me actually, you know what the best way to double check that is? We've been invested so much into a super detailed, accurate. I'm going to search it on our app. Our app is the best way. Like, I mean, anytime I'm trying to figure out, oh, is this place actually inside of the severe thunderstorm warning? I'm like, I'll just go to the Instant Weather app because we built that technology a long time ago. Okay, so let me just, yeah, so Wallsburg is not in the severe thunderstorm, but it's like literally just outside of the severe thunderstorm warning. It's so close to it. But like Wallsburg would not be. They're just talking about Sarnia and Petrolia. I wouldn't be surprised, especially with these really strong wind values we're seeing. I would not be surprised if they decided to also add that to it. But yeah, the storm they're focusing on is pretty darn strong over Lake St. Clair, and it has certainly some severe potential there. And it is heading kind of up towards the Sarnia area, so that makes sense where they're putting that warning right now. So there's that. So we're watching that closely. And again, there is still some storms coming up from the US. One right over Cleveland right now. It is under a special weather statement in Cleveland, so not as strong as the one earlier that was under a severe thunderstorm warning, but still multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in southwestern Ontario right now, in deep southwestern Ontario. I'm going to jump back into the comments here because I haven't seen some in a while. Let's see here. Just reading through. Um, Lisa says, I am in Moravian town. I'm pronouncing that wrong. At river fishing, no rain, no winds right now. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that. Yeah, the strong winds wouldn't be there yet, but they may show up in a little bit. So it's possible. It's possible maybe they're not reaching the surface at that point. It's hard to say, but please keep us posted. And am I pronouncing Blenheim wrong? Oh, is it Blenheim? Yeah, maybe it's Blenheim. I don't know. I don't pronounce anything right, so I think we're all aware of that at this point. That's just my thing. It's literally my thing to pronounce things wrong. So, in fact, I think most people would be disappointed if I didn't pronounce things wrong. At least I got Thamesville right this time. I didn't say Thamesville, even though I read it and there's a TH and AM and E and S. Just saying. But anyways, Thamesville. That's right. That's right. I did it once in my life properly. That's it. Next time I'm going to forget. I'm going to call it Thamesville, just so you know. Um, Let's see here. I'm just flipping around to a few different radars. Oh, give me 1 second here. Didn't like me on that one. I don't even know if I've shown Brennan's forecast map yet. I think I may have not. So this is Brennan's forecast map, which is looking pretty solid at this point in time. Just isolated, so our lowest risk of severe thunderstorms. But you're looking at damaging wind gusts, isolated flooding. Maybe is a little bit of risk for isolated flooding, and there is some risk for small hail and possibly some lightning as well too. Overall, the any tornado risk seems unlikely just based on the environment. It seems pretty unlikely, but we might see some isolated damaging wind gusts, maybe as far as Woodstock, maybe as far as Grand Bend, and possibly over towards the Niagara regions, but it's hard to say for sure. Mike, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Will Guelph get anything soon? I'm thinking about going out in my wheelchair soon. Guelph is going to see some storms eventually, at least some rain and some storms eventually. I'm going to just double check on our app, see what the timing is here, but let me just double check Guelph for you here. 1 second. Guelph, Ontario. It says precipitation is possible around 6 o'clock ish, 6:15. 100% chance of rain though, and there might be some thunderstorms embedded in there as well too. So you might have an hour or so ish, but they're definitely heading that way. So thank you so much for the super chat, though. I sincerely appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Sweet One says, "I love Adam's mispronunciation of places. It's like, who names these places? I mean, it's supposedly it's like it's French, right? Thamesville is French, so obviously French pronunciation is a little bit different. That's what I've heard. But then some people say, anyways, I'm not sure. Let's not get into it. Let's not get into it. Sherry says, no matter how you pronounce any towns or cities, 1,000 kudos to you and your crew for everything you do. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Mike says, so don't go far. Yeah, it's probably not going to be long. And that timing, the estimated timing can be, sometimes you can get little pop-ups out of nowhere and then it starts raining before that estimated time was right. So I would definitely, I would say you might want to sit this one out just to make sure you're all right. Thank you, says Mike. No problem, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Amazing person 3409, our friend from YouTube, our anonymous person from YouTube that is just always on our live stream that we love. Lots of convection and instability here in the west end of Kitchener. A few isolated cells are now trying to form. Thank you so much, amazing person 3409. We appreciate all your help on our live streams. Always hanging out in the live streams. Much appreciated. VR fan said, put Toronto in isolated severe. Now, we don't just magically put towns in a severe risk unless we see it in the data. So if we see it in the data, then we're going to do that. But if we don't see the data, then we're, obviously we're not going to just randomly decide to put your town into an isolated severe risk. We don't think that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, so let me just pull up some stuff here. I by accident closed everything, so I got to pull it all back up again. Okay. So that is Brennan's forecast map there. I just want to make sure I've got everything pulled up. There we go. And let's jump back into the 3D Weatherverse. This is the first time on our live stream that we've ever shown off the 3D Weatherverse. So let us know if you like it, if you want to see more of it, if there's anything you want to change with it. We'd love to hear your opinions on it. It's pretty exciting. We definitely have never done it before, but it's certainly exciting, and I'm glad we're getting some good reception on it here. So, Yeah, so let me just pull that up and transition that over. There we go. So here's the 3D Weatherverse. Working on it for a while. Us, Instant Weather, and you can see Instant Weather here, and Geosynergy from Australia have been partnering to build the 3D Weatherverse. So let me just turn off probabilities here and fly over. We're flying south. There's London, Ontario. Let's go take a look at this storm. I'm gonna pull up Detroit radar here, add the latest layer, and I'm also going to make it so. Brenda says, "Does the 3D tornado show debris and cows?" Not yet, but it we're definitely gonna. I don't know about the cows, but we'll definitely get into it. Being able to show, being able to show 3D debris would be really interesting for sure. One second here. Let me just make sure my settings are good. There we go. Cool. Okay, so I think that should be good. My GPU says she's running 99%. Why are you running so hot? 2 seconds ago it was running 50. Why are you going so hot? Anyways, yeah. So let's take a look at this data. I'm gonna back this out. Where are we here? Let me just make sure we are. So there's Detroit. So here's Windsor. Look at that. Windsor actually shows up on a map. I know Windsor folks are always mad because they always see Detroit and they don't see Windsor. So um, let's see. Burger9277 says, I want to see a side by side of the 3D Weatherverse and people's pictures. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to compare the two. And the other thing, too, that we're doing is we actually have some technology where we're doing AI image recognition, where we're able to take like a picture of a tornado and then create the tornado in real time that looks like the picture of the tornado. So that will be pretty interesting once we go down that path, where we're actually using real data to change the visualization of the data within the 3D Weatherverse. That would be pretty cool. So, um, yeah, so let's just take a little fly around here. I want to show you the actual data that's powering this. So I want to see the storm that's under a severe thunderstorm warning. Where are we here? This is Essex County, I believe. Let me see. Oh wait, I'm facing the wrong way. I should use my there. Now I'm facing north. Okay. I have to use my compass to know where I'm going here. Okay, let me just bring it down. Okay, so there's Windsor. Sorry if I'm flying around too fast. It happens. Okay, so here is Windsor. There we go. And I want to show you the data that's actually making up this storm, so we can see the true structure of it, the data that we're using to create this simulation. So if I go to crater mode and I go to world settings, change the density to 0.1, but bring up the summary, then we can actually see the real data here that is powering this. So let's see. Let me just zoom in. There we go. Cool. So this storm right now that is over Lake St. Clair, let me just zoom into that. That's the one we've been watching closely. There we go. So this is the one that spawned I believe, the severe thunderstorm warning um, for Sarnia as well. Let me just turn DLSS off. And 1 second here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to change the density to 8. And let's bring the summary back down to zero point 0.3. And just apply that. Okay, cool. So, so that is the storm that we're watching over Sarnia right now. We're heading towards Sarnia. Actually, it's pretty much right on top of Sarnia now, so there should be some lightning strikes in there as well too. If you're in the Sarnia area, please let me know what you're experiencing. Rachel says, "Holy this is the coolest thing! Thank you so much. Appreciate that." Someone said GTA 6 weather map. Yeah, it's kind of in that realm for sure. Um, yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff. This is done in Unreal Engine 5, which is basically the best visualization stuff you can get right now. So it's pretty exciting to see these storms in real time visualized. Let's see here. Let's just go fly over. There we go. That looks pretty cool. Some sun in behind it. I think it looks pretty interesting for sure. So yeah, so we're keeping an eye on that storm. I'm going to flip back over to Instant Weather Pro so we can really dial into the data here. Give me just 1 sec. I'll flip over to that. There we go. Okay, cool. 1 second here. Oh, Carolyn said we have had a couple of rumbles. 1 second here. Let me just pull that off. Cool. We've had a couple of rumbles of distant thunder so far in Sarnia. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that report. Amazing Person 349 said, "We'd love to see how the isolated cells over Grey Bruce look with 3D Weatherverse." Yeah, I can bring those up as well too. We've got all the Canadian data in there as well, which is pretty exciting. I forgot to turn on my fan. I should probably do that. This room is getting toasty. Already 24 degrees. I've been searching for a little window. I actually found a little window air conditioner that'll fit right in that little window right there. And I think that will make life great in the middle of the summer. Because this room, even though it's in the basement, this room gets up to like 36 degrees sometimes when I'm live streaming. I'm just like pouring sweat while I'm trying to live stream. So I think it'd be good to stick a little window air conditioner up in that window. That'll make life grand for sure. Raining in Stratford. Thank you so much, Laura. I appreciate that. Thank you kindly. Okay, so yeah, let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into the data with Instant Weather Pro. Another thing that we've been working on. We have two pretty wild uh, pieces of software coming out. So Instant Weather Pro and the 3D Weatherverse. And I think actually we're going to be able to get Instant Weather Pro into the 3D Weatherverse so that while you're in the 3D Weatherverse, you'll be able to pull this up and it all happen within the same app. It's going to be pretty exciting as well. So computers give off a lot of heat, yeah, especially with what I'm doing with them. Let's see here. Kern says, "Are you able to show us how the new app shows mesocyclone cells and ecotop heights?" Yeah, so we haven't added ecotops to it yet, but we will be doing that. We have that data, and because that's pretty important to see what the taller storms. With the 3D Weatherverse, we can see what the taller storms is because we're rendering the entire volumetric data, so you can actually just visually get your angle there and see what storm is the tallest, which is pretty cool. It'd be nice to actually put a measurement tool on that too, so you know exactly how tall that storm is. That actually would be really awesome. And then the mesocyclone cells, yeah. So with Instant Weather Pro, like we're watching right now, we can swipe over between reflectivity and velocity data. So we can see, like, if this storm was rotating, I'd be able to swipe over and see. I mean, there's super, super soft, gentle rotation happening over here, but nothing too wild at the moment. And that's the storm that's heading up towards Sarnia. But today, the risk today, we're not too optimistic about seeing rotation. We're more interested about the damaging wind gust potential. So damaging wind gust potential, maybe some isolated flooding, obviously lightning, and maybe some small hail. And those are the kind of those are the attributes that we're watching for right now. But we don't think, I mean, the environment's not that great for rotating storms, so we don't think we're going to see anything too intense. This kind of makes sense. There's a very, very soft, broad rotation here, nothing too intense. So that's what we think we're going to see today. But the damaging wind gust potential is really what we're watching for. Let me just jump down to Cleveland's radar. There's still an interesting storm over Cleveland that is moving to the northeast that may head our way, which is this storm right here. So we're keeping a close eye on that as well. Let me jump up to Canadian radar and see what it's seen. Might be a little closer to this one. The winds aren't looking too intense. These winds are still looking pretty strong down here, but it's hard to say that they're actually reaching the surface. And it's getting pretty messy over here. This whole thing is actually getting pretty messy. So I'm not sure if there really is some severe potential down here near Thamesville. It's hard to say. It's hard to say, but we're gonna keep watching it. Let me just scroll down here. Angie says, "How/where do you get the wind SYST info from?" Maybe interesting. And info from storms usually follow water, but the wind info is vital. Is so vital. Thank you for the real time update. Yeah, so the wind data that we're talking about here, the velocity data, this is actually coming from radar. So radar is scanning these storms, and for Canadian radar, it's every 6 minutes, and then it's giving us back the velocity data, so we can see. You can see at the very right above my head, way up there, you can see minus 85.32 kilometers an hour. So we're also one of the first pro radar apps, if not the first, to finally put it in kilometers an hour. Every other app I use is miles per hour or knots or meters per second. Yeah, we want to read it in meters per second. That makes sense. No, we want kilometers per hour. So yeah, we have converted it. It's not that hard to convert something to kilometers per hour, but we converted the data visually into kilometers per hour, so you can actually see the proper readout. Finally. Fine. Oh, Gus. Thank you, Chris. That's a good point. Yeah, Gus. Sorry, Gus. You said, yeah, Gus. I'm like, sis. Yeah, Gus. Yeah, so you can see basically how strong they're gusting. Now, this doesn't tell you for sure if it's reaching the surface. But on our free app, though, you can actually go, and I mentioned this before. If you take our app and you click on the three little dots on the home screen, so if you get our instant weather app, you can see what the estimated wind gusts are for the surface, and so that's actually quite useful, I would say, for sure. Devin says, "Is this live now?" No. Let's see here. Sorry, that was a joke. Because obviously it's live because I just answered your question. So, anyways, yeah, these are the jokes, folks. They're not. I'm not obviously not that good. These jokes are pretty terrible that I'm coming up with. Godzilla 1521 says, "Hello, weather dude. Then it's going to hit St. Kitts. Oh, when? When is it going to hit St. Kitts? I think that's what you're trying to say. That's a good question. Not 100% sure off the top of my head. I can definitely search for you. But give me just a sec. I'm trying to read through some of these comments. Thundering in Waldesburg says, Caden, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let's see here. Would be nice if you went at a slower pace, says Mark, and didn't jump around so much. No time to digest the info. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm sorry. I have always had an issue with talking way too fast and moving really, really quickly. The idea for going live was initially when we started going live back in 2015, which was many, many years ago. When we started going live, the idea was that we're tracking the storms in real time anyways. So we might as well go live because then you can see what we're doing in real time while it unfolds. But sometimes slowing down is difficult sometimes because a lot of the time I'm jumping around as quickly as I possibly can, looking at so many different storms. So it's difficult for me to change gears on speed. And my apologies to folks out there if I move too quickly. If you'd like to go at your own pace, then we always recommend downloading our free app. You can get it at instantweatherapp.com. But I move quickly. So yeah, I have to move quickly, especially when there's a lot of storms out there and there's so much data to look at. I literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screens right now. So I kind of have to move quickly to pay attention to it all. But I appreciate the sentiment, and I appreciate the feedback, really. So thank you very much. I'll try my best to slow down slightly while still providing rapid updates to all the wonderful people on our live stream. Yeah, my whole life people have been like, Adam, can you slow down how you talk a little bit? I'm like, yeah, sure. I can, absolutely. I can definitely slow down. No problem. I've been one of those fast talking people. I'm one of them fast talking people my whole life. Yeah, I can't help it. I like to go fast. My lips have a hard time keeping up with my brain sometimes, I think. So yeah, so still potentially some strong gusts here in Essex or in deep southwestern Ontario. It's hard to say if they're reaching the surface, but things are getting pretty messy. How are the alerts going? Looks like Environment Canada did drop the severe thunderstorm warning for Windsor and Essex County, which is good news. There are still some marine alerts kind of surrounding our area, but it looks like the severe thunderstorm warning is still in place for the Sarnia regions with that storm moving in. That storm is the one we're watching at the moment. Probably the one to pay attention to, I would say, because it's the one that spawned the severe thunderstorm warning from Environment Canada. And so this is the storm right now heading towards Sarnia. So we should probably go look at that. Sweet One says Adam has to eat sugar to slow down. Yeah, it works the opposite way on me. It happens. So yeah, so I want to go take a look at the 3D weatherverse because one second here. Sorry, so many comments I have to also read, which is tricky. Because I want to look at the 3D weatherverse. So I'm gonna go pull that up here. Give me just one second. I will get that launched so we can take a peek at it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. It's the first time we've ever watched it. Godzilla says, Adam, do you watch Ryan Hall? Of course, yeah, Ryan's great. Yeah, Ryan started a few years after we started streaming. We started in 2015. I think Ryan started in about 2018. I believe so. I'm pretty sure. But anyways, yeah, I mean, he's done wonderful stuff, and he's tracking storms across the U.S. Like, okay, Canada gets maybe 100 to 200 tornadoes a year. We're second in the world behind the U.S. So we do get a lot of tornadoes. And tornadoes are where my passion is: tornadoes and damaging winds and severe thunderstorms. Ryan tracks he live streams all the stuff that happens down in the US, and there's like 1,200 tornadoes a year in the US. So kudos to him. I think he's doing some wonderful stuff. There's a lot of people out there that trash talk him and stuff, and I'm like, I have no idea why they do that, because from what I've seen, I think he does a fantastic job. So kudos to Ryan Hall, y'all. I think he does a wonderful job down south, and they raised, I think that for the tornadoes that just happened in Mississippi, they raised like 100 grand on their live stream, and then they went out, filled up trailers, drove down, gave big checks to people, gave food to people, made meals for people, did all this kind of stuff. So I don't know whoever's the people that are bad talking him. I'm not sure why. I read all this stuff in the weather Twitter community, and yeah, I think he's doing a fantastic job down there. So yeah, I definitely watch Ryan, and he's awesome. Um, Let me just poke around at a few things here. Give me just 1 second. I have a hard enough time tracking storms here in Canada. I mean, I'd like to do some severe weather streams down south. We actually have communities in every state and province, so I'd like to do more streams down south. Um, I definitely I have to be careful I don't burn out by literally live streaming every single night, and never seeing my family. But yeah, I think I'd like to do some more live stream stuff down south. I think that would be a good idea for sure. Yeah, let me just 1 second here. I'm just doing a few things in the background. Da, 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 da. Okay. Aha, I know what to do. I know what to do. Let's go ahead and 1 second here. Oh, we're getting some spam, of course. Always. Surprised on Facebook this time. Normally it's always on YouTube. But let's go back and take a look at the 3D Weatherverse. So let's jump into it. Let's see. Does it show up? Where'd it go? Come back to me. Here we are. Okay. Here's the 3D Weatherverse. Let me just pull off probabilities. And let's go take a look at that storm over Sarnia. So let's use the Detroit radar. I think that's probably the best idea right now. And let's take a peek at this storm. Let me just zoom down and see what's happening for Sarnia. Load. Okay. So let me hide that. Okay, so this is the storms over to the east. Let's see what's happening more to the west here. So there's Sarnia, where my northeast. So this is north. So let me just take a peek here. Okay. So why? 1 second. This is a lot of the rain and storms that is to the east right now, but there were some to the west that were showing up. Let me just make sure I've got the right radar system here. Let me go into settings and turn DLSS off. There we go. Okay. Um, cool. So I see here. Okay. Where did Sarnia go? Come back, Sarnia. Come back. Where are you? For those who are just joining us, again, this is a pretty cool thing we've been working on for a while. It's called the 3D Weatherverse. What sorcery is this? Says Suds. This is actually using real radar data to visually simulate storms in real time. So I don't know if you think that's cool, but I think it's amazing. These are the storms right now over Leamington. Let me make sure which way I'm going. Okay. And let's go up to Sarnia. Here we go. Okay. Let me just make sure I have the latest data on. I'm going to enable live updates. Cool. And Sud says, "This is so cool." Thanks so much. Thank you kindly. Yeah, so this is something we've been working on for a while, to actually visualize storms in real time as they happen. And again, we're using actual radar data to make this happen, and then we're using wind data to visualize the wind that's moving around in real time. So I like your "what sorcery is this?" That's funny. So yeah, the storm moving into Sarnia right now. Probably still the strongest one we've got at the moment, but Yeah, everything else to the south is looking pretty messy. I wasn't assuming today was gonna be too exciting. We figured there'd be some marginal risk for damaging wind gusts. We did get a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings from Environment Canada. I believe there's still one in place for Sarnia. Let me just double check on our app. That's the best place. Download our app for free. It's instantweatherapp.com, and you can get it for free. And then you can check to see. So yeah, there is still a severe thunderstorm warning. 1 second here. It's still a severe thunderstorm warning for Sarnia at the moment, and yeah, 90 km/h wind gusts are the main hazards for that one. So. Karma tornado spawning piece of joy, says Coco. What? Sandra says I wasn't notified for the live today. So to clarify, normally I do notify the whole region, all of Southern Ontario, including Eastern Ontario. But this risk was so isolated and so marginal that I only notified those in deep Southwestern Ontario for this particular live stream. If you want me to always notify you, let me know. We have kind of asked that in the past. I just think to myself, like, do I really need to tell, Cornwall about this risk for Windsor? I always feel like it's not the greatest idea for that. So give me just 1 second. I will be right back. I think my son just showed up. So give me just one moment and I will be right back with you. 1 second here. Let me just, oh yeah, he's calling data. Okay. Give me just 1 sec. I'll be right back. 1 sec. Okay, I am back. Hi. Oh, just 1 second. Okay. Anyways, so what's happening? Let me check radar. That's what I do, right? Hold on, let me sec. I just gotta put something in my ear so make sure I can hear the team, just in case they're yelling at me for some reason, which they often do. Okay. So again, these are your storms right now. This is a cool view, says Mike. Thanks so much. Yeah. So this is simulated. This is radar data in real time being simulated into a storm. So I'll show you what it looks like. Once again, this is pretty fun stuff we've been working on. It's called the 3D Weatherverse. So if I go to our settings here and I bring density down to 0.0001, and then I bring up our show summary, and we can actually see the data we're using to create this. Suds coming in with a super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Suds. Thank you kindly. The sorcery comment was hilarious. Thank you so much. And so that is the actual storms. This is the actual radar data we're using to simulate the storms. So if you look at that, and then you see what happens when I put the density back up to 8, and then you see what happens when I bring down our show summary to 0.3, and there you have it. Simulated storms from real-time radar data and real-time wind data. So this all of the way the storms are shifting and moving right now, that's all based on actual radar data, which is crazy. So Sherry says, don't like storms, but this is interesting to look at. Cool. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, it's really exciting stuff. So again, we're going to use this to live stream. We're going to spawn tornadoes underneath the storms in real time when they've been confirmed on the ground. And we're also going to make a storm chasing video game out of it. So there's lots of cool things going on with it. We're super excited about it. So there's some really cool storm chasing video games out there already. But the limitation on those is that you're kind of in an arena. So they build like a few towns that are supposed to be like in Oklahoma, and then they kind of spawn tornadoes, and you can drive. There's really cool ones called Twisted. There's a really great one from our friends Outbreak is coming out as well too. That's a really cool one. So Outbreak, Twisted is on Roblox. There's all these cool ones that are really fun. But I've always been like, I want to chase storms in real time. Like I want to chase in virtual. Even put on a headset. We'll be able to do that with this. Put on a headset, jump in a car, and chase a storm virtually in real time. I'm excited about that. I think that would be really interesting. So, Pat coming in with the super chat. Thank you so much. Wowza, you have been busy. Yeah, we've been busy. We've been working on this for a while. It's been pretty wild. So, the radar just updated. You saw that. So the storm just literally came on top of me. So again, you're dealing with live radar data right now, and really interesting to see. So let's just peek around here. So where are we? I think we're Lake St. Clair. Yeah. So that's Lake St. Clair. Let me just zoom in here and go back a little further to the north and look back out. I got to change my draw distance here because it's not going too far. But I mean, the visuals of this is just so wild. It's pretty cool. But anyway, so okay. Let me just double check, and then we go back to another thing that we're launching, which is Instant Weather Pro, and I'll just jump back to that right now. And that's how we can really get into the weeds. That's when we can get into pixel by pixel. What kind of wind values are we seeing? How strong are these storms? All of that stuff. So the Sarnia storm might be falling apart a little bit. There's still some pretty strong winds on it. Let's go from Exeter here. Yeah, so it's probably pretty windy, and it's definitely pretty windy in Sarnia right now, I would assume, with that storm moving into the area. So I'm just reading some comments here as well, some comments on TikTok, and one sec, I just missed one. Oh, user 9442679870267 just rolls off the tongue, says, hey, I am a pilot. Amazing stuff. How can I get access to this? So if you're interested in this, go to 3dweatherverse.com. I don't know if I've even made a banner for that. So if you're interested in the simulation stuff, let me jump back to it here. Let's jump back in one sec. There we go. So if you're interested in how we're visualizing storms in real time, let me change the time of day. I like changing the time of day because you can get a better look out of these storms here. Let's see what looks cool. It's pretty cool there. So if you're interested in this, also we have a flight simulator thing as well too. The flight simulator community seems very excited about this, and they've been messaging us, and we've been in discussions and doing lots of stuff. So yeah, so we're it'll also be a cool flight simulator as well. 3D Weatherverse. It won't just be a storm chasing video game. It won't just be a tool for us to live stream and raise awareness about tornadoes and severe weather. It's going to be a plethora of things. Hence why we didn't just call it like Tornado Simulator or something. That's why we called it the 3D Weatherverse, because it's going to be a lot of wild stuff. So Janice says it's cool. You can drop a car, and yeah, we can drop a car, and I can do that right now if you'd like. Let's find a road. Is this the road here? All right, let's see here. I'll just drop a car on this random back road. This looks bumpy though. Maybe we should find a less bumpy road. Here, how about this one? This one looks a little smoother. And we're gonna make this is high resolution satellite data right now, but we're gonna make this. We're gonna use this data to procedurally generate the roads and the grass and the trees and the buildings and all that stuff, so that it looks really realistic, and it will be based on on the data that we're seeing here. So it's going to be pretty cool to see that. Brenda says, keep showing us the 3D weatherverse. Love it. Awesome. Thank you so much, Brenda. Okay, let's put a car down. Maybe I'll put a truck this time. All right, let me go into Storm Chaser mode and I'll put a, let's see here. Okay, we're going to go with a van. I'm going to flip that to a pickup truck. There we go. That's better. If you're going to get out there, you might as well go with a pickup truck. So, um, so yeah, so live storm chasing of real storms in real time on bumpy roads that will be fixed. These roads are definitely not. Again, this is real satellite data, but these roads will definitely need some work because they're a little bumpy. But yeah, and then and the buildings are all there as well too, but they're just like these like 3D blocks for now. Let me actually go into Zeus mode. If we go to like Toronto, it looks a lot better. Here, let's see here. Where are we? Hold on, let me find my way around. Okay, let's fly over to Toronto, and I think it looks a little bit better. The buildings are a little bit better. Still kind of like these blocky buildings, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, that works. I mean, it's kind of a CN Tower, but we want to make that even better. So we're gonna definitely make this a lot more detailed. Froink says, would you ever think about bringing in real time lightning data? Yeah, we already have it in here. There already is real time lightning data. Don says, "Do you have your driver's license?" I do, but it's tricky in the 3D weatherverse. Those roads are bumpy, so we'll have to work on that. But yeah, this actually already has real time lightning data built into it. So let's see if we can find a storm that is spewing out some lightning strikes at the moment. 1 second here. We could probably try to find a storm in the U.S. I don't think anything too exciting is happening in Ontario right now, so. Yeah, okay, let's go try to find a storm in the stateside that has a lot of lightning. I want to show you here. So so let's go to layers. 1 second here. Let me turn probability on and let's go find a nasty storm stateside. Let's see, this looks like a nasty storm. How far do we have to go? What about these two? These two look cool. Hold on 1 second. I'm just gonna go to the States for 1 second. We're taking a little trip to the States. We're gonna light these storms up and see if we can see some lightning data underneath it. So give me 1 sec. Brenda says, "What? That is so cool." Thanks, Brenda. Appreciate it. Okay, let me get rid of the current radar we have. So remove radar provider. Great. And I'm going to 1 sec. Remove the probability and turn this radar on. Where is this radar? Charleston, West Virginia. That's where we are. You can see Cincinnati in the background here. You can see Columbus over there. But there's a couple of interesting looking storms here. And let's see if we can find some lightning data underneath them. Give me 1 second here. Should be able to see some lightning strikes, depending on how active these storms are. And again, we're using actual velocity wind data to spawn all of that stuff. And it's pretty exciting. Here. Should be getting some lightning strikes soon. These look like pretty potent storms. You know what? Let me actually zoom out and make sure what storms I'm looking at, because there are storms that can look potent but have absolutely no lightning data. 1 sec. Let me find a storm that looks pretty nasty. I think there's some nasty ones down in Florida right now. And Florida's like the lightning. Oh, there's a storm down there that is just lit up with lightning. Okay. Sorry, West Virginia. We need to go to Florida. 1 second here. Which way am I going? North? I don't need to go north. I need to go south. Southwest. There we go. Atlanta. Okay, Georgia. We're flying around here. Hold on 1 sec, folks. So this is a little bit off topic of Ontario, but I'm watching Ontario closely. And currently it's not that exciting. But that's we assume that would be the case. San Antonio. I'm going the wrong way. Okay. There's Florida. Let's go. We're going for a trip to Florida, folks. Pack your bags. All right, what do I want to be on? KMLB. All right, let's see. We got to be getting some lightning data on this storm. This storm looks ridiculous. So let's get rid of West Virginia and let's light up KMLB here. 1 second. Yeah, Melbourne, Florida radar. We should be getting some interesting stuff here. But random geography lessons, says Smith on Twitch. Yeah, basically. It's basically a random. This storm is lit with lightning. So either the lightning isn't working right now or... Okay, there we go. I can already see it. Oh, okay, 1 sec. Oh, man. This storm is lit. Okay, there we go. When we have decent lightning, we can see lots of lightning data. So this storm is blowing up with lightning at the moment. You can't hear it right now, but I can hear it in my ears, and it is. I wonder if I can turn it on for you. 1 second here. I think I can turn this on. If I add some filters, if I add audio monitor, and I put it to, let me see. Let me see. I don't want to have it too loud, so let me bring it down in volume. Okay, can you hear it now? Let me know. Oh, no, I have it muted? Okay, let me know if you can hear it now. So this is how much lightning is happening right now in Florida. Oh, you can hear it. Okay, good, good. All right. Yeah, so we do have real lightning data in here as well, too. Jay says no. Manus says can hear. Yes, can hear. Okay, cool. Let me just make sure. Let me make sure that it's linked. Volume linked to source volume. So if I mute this, it should stop for you. Let me just make sure. No, that's not right. Oh, mute should be linked to source muting. That's what I meant. There we go. Okay, okay, okay. I think this should work. So that should get rid of it. Yeah, that works. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. There. Sorry, I have to be actually in the app for you to hear it. So yeah, there's a lot of lightning going on right now in Florida, but I just wanted to show that as an example. While we're at it, should I spawn another fake tornado underneath here? Do you guys want to see a tornado? Let me know in the comments. For all you that hung out this long in the live stream, the Florida storms are a little more interesting than the Ontario storms right now, so we're just paying attention to that. Put my earbud up to the mic. Oh, you can hear it, or can you hear it or no? Let me know if you can hear it. Okay, I'm gonna spawn a simulated tornado underneath the storm. Do it, says Angela. Yes, says Jay. Okay, we plan to do this in real time. So like when we're tracking storms in Ontario, I've had this vision of like, wouldn't it be so cool? Actually, this thing might produce this actual storm that we're underneath right now. It might produce a tornado. It's got a hook echo on it. This is a pretty nasty looking storm, actually. Okay, so it hasn't produced a tornado yet. It does have a tornado icon on it, though, from the storm tracks, and it's got rotation on it. It has a TVS. That is a nasty looking storm. Okay, can't hear the audio. Teresa says can hear it. 1 second here. Let me turn it up a little bit. I probably have it turned down too much. How about now? Can you hear it now? Let me know. Whoa, this is the most lightning I've ever seen on a storm in the 3D Weatherverse in my life. Oh my goodness. This thing is just lighting up. I think I've got the lightning limited to a certain elevation, which I think I can change. Hold on. World settings, lightning, the altitude range. I think I can go higher. Oh, okay. You see it's going higher up in storm there? Oh, cool. Let's bring down the lightning spawn chance because it's a little much. Okay. All right. Okay, there is no tornado on the storm yet. This is in Florida, by the way. I want to clarify. The Ontario storms are boring, so we're just taking a little flight over. We've hopped on a plane, and we're just taking a little bit of a flight over to Florida. And Lana says, Adam, can you drop a boat so we can get right underneath that storm? Yeah, I mean, I can put a car down and we can drive right underneath it. It's going to get loud, though. I'll have to mute it for sure. Okay, I'm muting this. I'll do that quickly, and then I'll spawn a tornado. Okay. Actually, I'll spawn the tornado first, and then I'll go for a drive under. A deal? Is it a deal? All right. So the idea was I've had this vision of like being able to put down a simulated tornado while we're tracking an actual tornado confirmed on the ground. So we're not just going to be putting these down randomly, but if there's a confirmed tornado on the ground, actually this storm might put one down. So this might not actually be in error. But 1 second here. Let's go to our details and let's go to our properties. Let's throw down a little EF4 here. First, I want to go to multiplier, bring it up to 4. I want to bring down the playback speed to 0.6. And then I want to change the geographic offset to put it a little further into the ground so it looks a little cooler, something like that. Okay. But what I also want to do is go into world settings, radar. I want to bring down the summary to 0.03 just so the color matches a bit better. And then I'm going to... okay, let's just move this into the storm. It's just you can't have a tornado just floating outside of the storm. So to clarify, there is no tornado yet on the storm, although it does have a pretty darn good hook echo. And this is in Florida, actually. So the idea is, this is the idea. Whoa, that looks pretty crazy. Yeah. Okay. Now, okay. I promised I would put a car down so we can drive into it. Okay. 1 second here. So yeah, I don't recommend doing this in real life. Definitely not. Let me know how that looks. I think it looks pretty sweet from my perspective. It looks pretty wild. Hold on, I got to bring back up the audio here. There we go. Okay. Wild. Okay. Oh, Zach had a comment. Instant weather, Ontario. The storm warning is just entering the tip of Wallaceburg near Wendy's and stuff, but barely close to the town itself. Thank you very much, Zach. Appreciate that. Facebook user says, stop playing around with your tornado crap and just give us updates on the storm. I was worried this would happen, but yeah. I'm looking at the storms right now in Ontario, and there's nothing exciting right now. So my updates on the storm are there's nothing exciting happening in Ontario other than some rain, and overall the severe risk looks pretty marginal. That's about it. There's some lightning heading towards Bruce Peninsula. So yeah, as far as what's happening in Ontario right now, it's not that exciting. So I am going to jump on this road here, as I promised people, and drive into this thing. Now, we haven't programmed that part of it yet. On the other side of the spectrum, Rachel says, this is the coolest thing I've seen in a long time. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Ty Cat says, Adam's having way too much fun. Yeah, I can't help it. This is something we've been working on for a long time. I don't know about you, but when that lightning strikes and you can see the detail in the tornado, it looks pretty wild. So to clarify, if you're just joining us on the live stream, this is a simulated tornado. This, I swear, the storm's going to produce. This storm has the craziest hook echo on it right now. This is a storm right now. This is north of Palm City in Florida. It's got so much lightning on it. Just to clarify, the radar data, so if I back up here, the radar data and the lightning data is all real. So we're using true radar data. Let me see. I wonder how this looks. Cindy says, can you actually hear the tornado wind? Yeah, we're going to add that to it. Right now it's just currently lightning, but we're definitely going to add that to it. So Jules says, dinner's going to be late tonight because I can't stop watching this. Okay, let's drive into the storm. Okay, fine. So we're going to drive into the storm right now. To clarify, the car's not going to do anything when it drives into it. We haven't programmed that yet. It's not going to throw it around. But that lightning is crazy on this storm. Oh my goodness. It may have a hook, but the NWS has not warned it yet. No, they have not, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. This thing's got a big old hook on it. It's a severe thunderstorm warning. And this is to clarify, this is in Florida, and this is a simulated tornado. I want to make very, very clear that we're using high-resolution satellite data here, but we're eventually going to actually procedurally generate the roads and the grass and the trees and the buildings and all that kind of stuff, so it actually looks super accurate. But okay, it's time to put a car down. Let's go. Storm chaser mode. Let's see this van. I don't want a van. We need a truck for this storm. Let's get a truck here. All right. Okay, we better go drive into this thing. Which way do we got to go? We got to go this way. Oh dear. All right, let's go for a drive. Again, if you're in Ontario right now, nothing too much exciting is happening. It's a little bit more exciting in Florida right now, so that's why we're just down here in Florida. Oh man. Okay, this is a bit of a bumpy road. We're watching this storm that has a hook echo, and we've spawned a simulated tornado on it just to show what we're eventually going to do on our live streams when there actually is a risk. Of a oh my goodness, this is crazy. So long story short is when there actually is a confirmed tornado on the ground with storms in Ontario and across Canada, and as we're streaming in the US, we're going to. Somebody says I'm a baby driver. I'm going to turn off the volume a little bit because it's probably going to get too loud. I think it's going to get crazy loud. Let me bring it way down. Hold on a second here, because we're right underneath the lightning right now, so it's going to get super loud. It's hard to drive on these roads because this is actual elevation data and actual satellite data overlaid. So it's difficult to drive on these roads because they're super bumpy. There is actually this much lightning right now in Florida. It's insane. This is actually based on real lightning data. So there is actually this much lightning in Florida right now. It's insane. I'm turning the volume way down because the lightning is getting super loud, which is actually realistic, but kind of annoying when you're watching it. Yeah, so again, this is a simulated tornado we have on this storm. This storm might actually produce in real life because it looks insane on radar right now. But anyway, so this is the idea of what we're doing with some simulated storm stuff. Someone said, "Who chooses a white Ford?" It's actually not even a Ford. It looks like a Ford, but it's just an Unreal Engine truck. It doesn't even have any real branding on it. Look, it's not a Ford. I need a steering wheel and a VR headset. Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay, hold on a second. The lightning is insane on the storm, though. It is insane. Okay, we're getting pretty close to the tornado. Again, nothing's going to happen because we haven't programmed it to like pick up the truck yet. Someone said, Sandra says, "How do we turn down the light?" Oh man. Okay, I'm going to mute this because it's getting a little ridiculous. Hold on a second here. Okay, I'm going to mute it. Unless it was all right for you, but we're getting pretty close to this tornado. Hold on. Clay Monster Pottery says, "You made this game," and we did, yeah. So this is actually real radar data, real lightning data in real time. It's in Unreal Engine 5. We are, yeah, we may as well event. That's what we're going to do. We're going to turn it into a storm chasing video game, but also we're going to be using it in our live stream. You got to hear the sound. I'm turning it back on. That's it. The sound is insane. Okay, I'm turning it back on. I hope the sound is low. It's taking us a while to get to this tornado. I probably should have spawned closer to it. Hold on. I'm going back to Zeus mode. There we go. Okay, so here's the tornado right here. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, look, radar has updated, so the tornado kind of looks silly. It's like standing by itself. So I have to... this lightning is crazy. I got to go back to creator mode and move the tornado back into the storm a little bit. There we go. That looks better. Okay, that's it. Anyway, so if we drive into it, it basically does this. If we actually drive into it, it just, and then when we eventually program it, it'll, pick up the truck and throw a building and do all this kind of stuff. We'll get that deep into it, but yeah. David says, "I'm in Palm Bay right now." Okay, Palm Bay. Let me just make sure where you are here. Oh, you're in Palm Bay. Where is that exactly? Is that close? It's close to Palm City, right? One second here. This storm looks... This is a crazy looking supercell in Florida right now. Anyway, so Clay says, "Can you change its EF scale?" Yeah, we can definitely do that. We have several different options. Manisa says, "This is way more fun than what I was planning to have to do this afternoon." Anyway, so okay, there's that. That's kind of the idea of a simulated tornado in real time, with actual lightning data and actual radar data. I'm going to show you that this is actual radar data because I've been doing this a few times today, but I'm going to show you. So if I go to world settings and I bring the density down to 0001, the storm will go away, just leaving the tornado and the lightning. And then if I go to the summary and I bring this up, you'll be able to see that's the actual radar data right there. So this is the actual radar data. Red being heavy rain, green being lighter rain. This is literally... oh, someone said, "Where is Palm City?" So we're actually just going to take a peek in Florida right now because they've got some pretty intense storms at the moment. As far as Ontario is concerned, it's turning into just a bunch of rain and maybe a little bit of lightning. I don't even think there's much lightning anymore. That's why we weren't seeing lightning. This all came about because a gentleman said, Are you planning on adding lightning to this to the 3D weatherverse to your simulated storms in real time? And I said, oh yeah, actually we have it already. We just have to find a storm that has lightning. The hook echo on this storm is crazy. Hold on, let's see if we can see this. Hold on. Let me back up. Where are we? I gotta point north. So is that the hook? One second here. How close are we to radar? Okay, okay, okay. Actually, let's see. That's the radar station. This is the storm over here. This is the one that's crazy. It's actually the storm back here. Whoa, look at the structure on this thing. Oh, man. This storm is bananas. Hold on a second here. Where is this? This is near Port. Yeah, this is right. This is the right storm. Fort Pierce South. Fort Pierce South. That's right. Look at you can actually see the mesocyclone coming down in the storm, and the actual structure itself is nuts. Look at the velocity tilt 2 on that Florida storm. I'm looking at it. It's crazy. This storm is wrapping up so hard. It's crazy. This looks bananas. Okay, so let's bring it back to simulation level. So now we're into that, and I'll bring back down the show summary to 0.3, and that's the storm. I mean, if this thing produces a tornado, it'd be right here. It would be right on this part of the storm here. The lightning underneath it is bananas. So I should probably take that simulated tornado and put it over on this storm, because this is the storm that would have it. If there was going to be a tornado, it would be over here. So let me just bring that over. Okay, let's put that on the right storm here. So we're having a little bit of fun, folks, at the end of our live stream here. Either it's me playing guitar or it's me showing you some new technology we're working on. So in this particular case, it's new technology. So let's put that here, because if this thing was going to produce, that's where it would be. Lightning, though. Hold on. Getting a bit much. Let's bring the lightning chance down. There. That's a bit better. So if this thing was going to produce, it would be right here with the like, I'm looking straight up in the air. Whoa, this is crazy. Anyways, if that was going to produce, it would be right there. Oh, tornado warning on this cell. There's a tornado warning on this storm. I told you that was going to happen. Hold on a second here. Tornado warning from, I'm going to read the details here. Hold on a second. Capable of producing a tornado. Radar indicated rotation. Okay, so no one has confirmed that there actually is a tornado on this storm. This is in Florida, by the way. I want to clarify. I'm watching storms in Florida. Disclaimer, this is a simulated tornado. Whoever put that on the screen is probably Brennan, and he's a genius. Hold on a second here. Brennan says, I love how this stream is basically all you need to diagnose Adam with ADHD. That's right. I'm pretty sure, I've never been diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. And there is a tornado warning in Florida now on this exact storm. This is crazy. So this is just a simulated tornado. I love the disclaimer, though. That was genius. Although there's a tornado warning on this storm, so it's very possible that this storm could produce a tornado at any point in time. Yeah, the National Weather Service in the U.S. has put. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I have ADHD, but should probably go get diagnosed properly. But anyways, so if there was a tornado on this crazy storm in Florida, look at the velocity, though. Look at the wind. It is bananas. I love simulating storms in real time. This is a dream come true. I'm so excited. Sorry if I'm geeking out here for some folks that are like, what's happening in Ontario? I'll go back to Ontario for a second. Nothing exciting is happening in Ontario right now. There is some rain, a little bit of lightning, and some gusty winds. That's it. So we went down to Florida to see what was up. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, this is definitely a dream come true as far as definitely a dream come true as far as being able to actually simulate storms in real time. So let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments what you think of this concept. What is my background, says Angie. This is actually a new product we've been working on called, Nicole says, we're geeking out right along with you. Awesome. Thanks so much. This is a new product we've been working on called the 3D Weatherverse. We built it in Unreal Engine 5, which is the same software they use for like Mandalorian, to make like the backgrounds in Mandalorian. They use it for a lot of virtual production. And Ryan says, what does Lucan look like? Lucan's fine right now. Like just some rain. Just some rain and some wind. Clay Monster Pottery says, mind blown. Thanks, Clay. Appreciate that. Mary says, cool. Thanks so much. Palm City says, Marianne. Yeah, this is down in near this is down in Florida, and it's to give you an idea where it is, south of Palm Bay. It's near Port Saint. It's Lucie. Is it Lucie or Lucci? Port Saint Lucie, Lucie, Port Saint Lucie, something like that. Anyways, it's north of Palm City in Florida. Amazing Person 3409, thinking already what I'm thinking for sure, said, it could be very useful in the future. If you haven't already, you can make a tornado different sizes to correlate with the size of velocity signature on radar. Yeah, that's what we plan to do. So we plan to use the meso size to dictate the wall cloud, which would make sense. And then we also have some AI technology we've been developing to actually take reports of the tornado and then in real time create a tornado model that looks like the one in the photo. So that would be super useful, I think. That would be pretty cool, I think, for sure. So yeah, anyway, so Amanda says, love the new but kind of freaky with you playing with EF4 tornadoes, says Amanda. Yeah, it is a little odd. It's definitely odd, but it's, you know what? The technology these days is amazing. So the fact that we can even do this is, I don't know. Anyway, this is a dream come true for me to be able to simulate storms in real time. Like I've always been like, how come there's no like storm chasing video game where you can just go like chase a real storm in real time? And the more I look for it, the more it doesn't exist. So yeah, this is what we can do with simulating a tornado in real time. So Coco says at least it's not an EF5. We also do have an EF5. I think it's just bigger. But one sec. Yeah. But anyway, so we do have an EF1 and EF2 as well, but they need some work, I think. So we'll just keep it like this. But yeah, so this actual storm in Florida is now under a tornado warning, and it is looking pretty dangerous for those who are in Port Saint Lucie or Port Saint Lucie. Lucie? I don't know. Lucie. We can actually go look at the actual places that it's underneath here, right here. All of these locations are in the potential path of this, and it's heading out into water. Though this is obviously relatively close to Orlando. It's southeast of Orlando, and north of Fort Lauderdale, somewhere between. It's basically north of Palm City in Florida. So, Night Burn says there's a TDS. Yeah, of course there is. 1 second here, I'll take a look. Which is, for those who don't know what a TDS is, it's tornado debris signature. So, yeah, that is pretty intense. Coco says, also it'd be cool to recreate famous tornadoes like El Reno. So we can actually do that. We have the data for it. I can load up if you want, if you're interested now, especially because the weather in Ontario has become so boring right now. Not that it's always boring. Sometimes we get some crazy storms. We've had lots of crazy storms over the years. But if you'd like, I can go load up a historical storm. Actually, I can load up the Barry tornado too. I can load up we have all the historical data. This just looks bananas right now. So I kind of don't want to leave it because the lightning looks wild. And this is potentially happening right now. I should probably go live on our Florida page. We actually have a Florida page. It's called Florida Tornado Watch on Facebook. We should probably go live on that and explain to them what's happening. But anyways, yeah, so that is the storm in Florida that we are watching closely. And it looks bananas. Rachel says, OMG, yes, do it, please. So, so are you saying you want us to... Sherry says, load up 1985 Barry tornado. So that's a little trickier because that radar data was... That was a long... we had like very primitive radar data at that point in time. So that would be a little bit trickier. Angela says, can you recreate hurricanes? I can go back and like look up any hurricane and load it up like right now. We could take a look at it if you want. So if you want, I can do a hurricane. Hurricane Ida. Yeah, everyone's saying Ida. Oh, she said that. Okay. I thought it was two people at the same time. And she says Ida again. Was Ida? Ida was pretty bad, wasn't it? Angie, you don't have to type Ida 100 times. Gene says, no, don't change the channel yet. Hold on a sec. Somebody actually pronounced this properly. It's pronounced Port St. Lucie. Ah, Port St. Lucie. Of course. Katrina. Unknown on YouTube says do Katrina. Yeah, I could do Katrina for sure. No, we don't have data back to the 80s. We have data back to 93, I think. So we have data as far back as 93. And then any US data back as far as 1993. And then we have Canadian data back to 2021. So we could load up the derecho that happened. We have that data as well, too. Everyone's saying Katrina. Teresa says Katrina. Clay says the tornado north of St. Lucie is stronger. Yeah, it is. It looks bananas. Like I'm on radar. Oh, there is a TDS. Yeah, there is a TDS right now heading over water. So there's potentially damage on this storm right now. There's potentially a tornado on this. Hold on, let's see. It's possible. Still a tornado warning on it from the National Weather Service. They still say radar confirmed. They don't have an actual confirmation of a tornado on the ground yet from that storm, but it is possible. Oh, Angie said her house got major damage in Ida. Wow. So the real-time data is a little more interesting because it has the lightning data baked right into it, and because we have the sound from the lightning data, so that makes it a little bit more visually exciting to watch and to take a peek at right now. But again, we can pull up. What I'd like to pull up is Moore, Oklahoma, the EF5 tornado from 2013, which was May 20th, 2013. That was bananas. So, can you show the derecho in Ontario? Yeah, I can definitely show that. What was that? It was May. What was the derecho? May. Hold on a second. I gotta remember the exact date. Was it also May 20th? Hold on. Derecho, Ontario, 2022. It was May 21st. It was the day after. May 21st. Angie has a frowny face. She wants to see Ida. May 21st, yeah. Pouring in London and windy, says Melissa. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah. So this is not an actual tornado. This is simulated in our 3D weatherverse that we've been working on. But it is simulated with real radar data, and there may be a potential for a tornado on this particular storm in Florida, because it is under a tornado warning right now with a big hook echo in Port St. Lucie, Florida right now. So that's why we're watching it. Pretty bananas here. So Tuscaloosa, yeah, that would be a wild tornado to take a look at. Janet says the F3 in Goderich for 2011. Yeah, we could. We have to pull the data from the US station, which might be too far away to really get a lot of detail on it, but we could definitely pull up the Goderich tornado from 2011. The F3 for sure. Is it just me, or does this look wild? It's like so many years of so many years we've been working on this. If you remember our first app back in 2015, it was called Tornado GPS, and we were talking about like having 3D radar. It was like these 3D blobs. But I mean, look at this. Look how far it's come. It's crazy. Oh, Angie says she's going back to her yard work. No, Angie, I'll do Ida, I promise. All right, I'll search Ida for you. Should we do Ida for Angie? I think we should. She said her house was hit by Ida. I'm going to look it up here. Hold on. We got to do this for Angie. She's sad. No, I'm going to do it, Angie. One sec. I'm helping you out here. Hold on a sec. I'm searching it right now. Hurricane Ida 2021 is when it was. Is that right? Hurricane Ida. Oh, it was Cat 4. That's right. Oh, okay. Ida. Yes, I remember it now for Louisiana. That's right. Angie, where was your, were you located? Where were you exactly? Were you in Louisiana when that happened? I have to figure out exactly when it hit. Okay. It hit on August 29th. It caused $75.25 billion in damage. Oh my goodness. There was 107 fatalities from that hurricane. Jeez. That is ridiculous. Andrew, one of our original Tornado GPS supporters, says TGPS was really, really cool, but this is absolutely, wait for it, bananas. Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, bud. Hold on. I have to find the exact. When did it exactly hit? That's the tricky part of knowing exactly when it hit land. Hold on. Let me see. I'm going to try to find a radar loop. Hurricane Ida. You know what would be really useful for this, though, is if we actually if we created a historical database of events. So if we actually created a historical database of all different tornadoes that have happened and a historical database of all hurricanes that have happened, and then you could just scroll a list and like click on it, and then it would know. So I wouldn't have to like search the time and search the date and pull up that exact radar frame. It would be really useful if it was all like drag and drop, really like click really, really easy. So Hurricane Ida radar loop. 1 second here. Oh, give me just 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Risa says you need to put a pin in that to remember to add that to the program. Yeah, I will for sure. That's a database for that would be really, really cool. Okay, I gotta go pretty soon, but I'm gonna load up the I'm gonna load up Ida here. Because I promised Angie that we would load up Ida. Okay, I think I see Ida. Let me pull it up here and see if we can. Okay, this is going to tell me exactly when it hit. 1 second here. Okay, hit. That's like pretty prime time. Didn't it take out one of the radar stations? Hopefully I can still see it. Okay, so it was KLIX radar. Let me just make sure. So let's go find KLIX radar, and it was on the 29th of August, 2021, and the timing was 1 second here. The timing was 17:04 UTC time, I think. Let me just make sure this is full quality. Let me see. Okay. 17:04. All right. We're doing this. We're doing this for Angie. Sorry, Florida Storm. We gotta go. Hopefully everybody in Florida is okay, because that storm looks super nasty right now. Definitely super nasty. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of it though. Actually, let me just flip back over to. Let me flip back over to radar for a second. We got. Well, this is an Ontario stream. Give me 1 minute to just take a peek at Ontario. What's going on in Ontario? I don't think much, but I just want to take a peek. Nope. Nothing exciting. So, as expected, this marginal risk has turned into some rain showers. Nothing too wild. Um, yeah, nothing too exciting. Looks like some rain. There could be some small hail in there, but probably not. It's possible though. Gusty winds, but nothing's jumping out as intense. And as mentioned, all severe thunderstorm warnings have ended from Environment Canada. So nothing too intense at the moment. Yeah, so that's cool. So I'm gonna bring up. I want to show Florida. What did I miss? Oh, we were just looking at a crazy storm in Florida. We just wanted to show, kind of show off the 3D weatherverse what it could do with a severe storm, and it looked pretty wild. Brennan says, sorry, I don't have our team. I don't have. I should get our team chat more where I can see it." But Brennan says, "Maybe we need to have a separate regular stream where Adam just nerds out." LOL. That would work. Okay, I want to pull up this hurricane though. So Angie said her place was hit by this hurricane, Hurricane Ida, back in 2021. Um, Anyways, so our servers are reading some odd comments, but okay, we got to do this here. So we're gonna pull up Ida. Okay, give me just one sec. I just need to put in some things and just make sure I've got the right settings on before we pull up Ida for Angie. Angie. Okay. Might have to change my draw distance, but let's go take a peek. Okay. We're gonna go back and let me just turn off the probabilities. And so we're not going to have any audio, but we should be able to pull this up for her. So we're going to pull up Hurricane Ida, which happened in Louisiana. So that is Florida. So it'd be over this way. There's KLIX. I can see it from here. Let's change the time of day because it's a little dark over here. There we go. Okay, so there is KLIX right near New Orleans. And if we go to search historic data, now we can find the exact time. So August 29th, 2021. So August 2021, 29th. And it was at 17. I think the last I saw was 1704. So let's go like this. Okay, here we go. Loading up Ida for Angie. This one's for you, Angie. All right, so okay. I've never actually loaded a hurricane in this. Um, that's the eye of the hurricane. Hold on a second here. Now, we've got it up off the surface. So to make this more realistic, because radar scans up off the surface, it doesn't scan right at the surface level. It is higher up in the air. So I'm going to bring this down. I've never seen a hurricane in three. I don't know why I haven't loaded a hurricane in 3D Weatherverse. I have no idea why I haven't done that. Let me bring up the draw distance so we can see like the whole hurricane. I'll go up to 300. Let's see. Okay, so let's bring this down to the surface, though. I'm going to go into creator mode, world settings, and I'll offset this. Let's bring this closer to the surface. Offset. Yeah, let's bring the storm down. We're going to bring it down. Yeah, man. Come down. Hold on. Let me see. Got radar here. Let's see if we can offset this. Will it come down? Maybe not. That's odd. Not sure why that's happening. But anyways, that's fine. I'll go back to 0. It still looks wild as is. Anyways, so let's turn off creator mode. Let's go back. So this is, let's see it from space. How far can we see it from? That's pretty cool. I've never seen, I've never actually looked at a hurricane in 3D Weatherverse, but that is Should start to die away as we go too far in space. But that's how big that storm was. That is a pretty big storm. Wow. We can actually dial up the velocity here, because I mean it should probably be a little bit more intense than that. 1 second here. Let's go into creator mode and let's change the velocity scale. Let's see if we can get it going a little bit more wild. Velocity speed. Don't want to go too fast, but interesting. 1 second here. Okay, so that should be. Let's bring that back down, and let's bring the scale a bit down because the scale is a little over the top. Anyways, yeah. Now this isn't animating. To clarify, this is just one single radar frame. So if we watched multiple radar frames, then you would actually see the thing. You'd see it doing that, right? Just 1 second here. Sorry, then you'd actually see you would see it properly spinning. So this is only one single radar frame, and then we're using the velocity data to simulate the motion of the actual storm here. But yeah, there you go, Angie. That's what it looks like. That's Ida. Where was your place located? You got hit. Hopefully, it wasn't too bad. I'm glad you stayed okay. You stayed safe. Were you in Louisiana when it hit? Angela says I look like a kid in a candy shop. You're in Houma, Houma. Okay. Oh, you were in Texas when this hit. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, this storm was bananas. Um, yeah. So that's what a hurricane looks like in 3D Weatherverse so far. But I mean, if we add a lot of frames in there and then animate it, it'd be wild to see this thing spinning, this giant storm spinning as it moved through. That would be pretty wild. So, Nightburn wants me to do Tuscaloosa. You know what I'm going to do? Just because I'm going to do more Oklahoma. So let's do that now. So hold on, let me just remove this. But thank you so much, Angie. I'm going to do more Oklahoma, and then on another stream, I'll do Tuscaloosa for you. Just purchased my new home and lost it. Aw. Sorry to hear. So sorry. I'm going to load up one more historical storm. I'm going to do more Oklahoma EF5 from 2013. Where are we here? There it is. KLTX. So let's just do this quickly. And then I'm going to shut down stream after that. Again, for those who are in Ontario, we're just taking a fly around on our new 3D Weatherverse because nothing that exciting is actually happening in Ontario. There's a little bit of lightning over Lake Erie that may move into the Niagara regions. Besides that, it all looks pretty messy. There is some lightning up near. There's some lightning right now up near Sauble Beach, and some pretty gusty winds actually. Yeah, hold on. Let's take a peek at that first, quick. Just 1 second. I want to go take a peek at that. Because I've noticed right up here, if we look at Exeter radar, south of Owen Sound near Sauble Beach, there actually is some pretty strong values. So let's see what they are. 69, 70, 70, 67. I guess there was no 70 there. So 69.84, you could call that 70. It's pretty close. 68.4. Yeah, so there's some pretty strong winds up there near Skipness, heading up towards Sauble Beach. Let's just back this up frame and then go forward to see where it is. It should be okay. So yeah, it's heading straight towards Sauble Beach. So if there's anyone in Sauble Beach right now, there actually is some lightning and some pretty strong winds heading towards your area. Actually, I want to send a notification at 70 kilometers an hour. Probably. That storm in Florida we were looking at looks ridiculously strong right now on radar. Oh my goodness. It is ridiculous. Sheila Thompson says, very interesting, entertaining. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Jeffrey says the Florida tornado has been dropped. I'm watching the radar. There's still are you sure? Pretty sure there's still a tornado warning on that storm. There's still quite a rotation couplet. It looks like there's still a tornado warning, but maybe they've dropped it. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Peterborough, says Peggy. No, nothing from Peterborough right now. Okay, I just want to show you one more historical storm, and then I'm going to shut down the live stream. But thanks again for watching the. Thanks, Jeffrey. But I'm pretty sure there's still a tornado warning on that one. I still see a tornado warning in effect in Florida near Port St. Lucie. Nightburn says, I want to always get notifications when you're live. Okay. Thank you very much. Jeffrey says Noah has dropped it. Oh, okay. They dropped it? Maybe it just hasn't updated on the app that I'm watching. Let's see here. I don't know. There's still 2 tornado warnings in place in Florida. Are you sure? I'm still seeing it from multiple sources. Where are you seeing this, Jeffrey? Yeah, no, it's still going. There's 2 tornado warnings in Florida right now. One is south of Palm Bay, and one is right over Port St. Lucie. Thank you, Angie. Appreciate it. Thanks for getting us to do that, because I don't know why I haven't loaded up a hurricane yet in 3D Weatherverse, but I'm glad I did. That was pretty wild. So thank you so much for getting us to take a look at Ida, and sorry again for your place there. That's awful. But thanks again for getting us to take a peek into that. So I'm going to search one more historic tornado, and then I'm going to shut down the live stream. But May 2013, May 20th, 2013 at 2030. Actually, we'll go 2024 UTC time. So let's take a look at this. This was an EF5 tornado that happened in Oklahoma. A very sad one too. It was a lot of fatalities. It was awful. It was very close to the radar. It's so close to the radar, you can actually see it even in our simulated data here. Let me pull it over so you can actually see what I'm talking about. You can see the elevations of radar data in our simulation. That's up close. Like the radar station's right here, and this is the data that it was seeing. So it was very, very close to this tornado, and the tornado went through Moore, Oklahoma, which is right here. So this is the actual. This is the mesocyclone right here. So if I do what I've done before a few times to show you this, if we go to world settings, we bring the radar density down to 0.1, and we bring up the summary, you can actually see that right there is basically the mesocyclone, and the tornado would be directly underneath it. So the tornado would be right here, and that would be the mesocyclone from the Moore, Oklahoma EF5. Actually, you can see the radar data. You can see every tilt of it. Pretty wild. Yeah, so this is the actual radar data we're using to create the simulated storm, and then when we put our simulation on top of it, let's see here. So radar density back to 8, and if I bring the summary back down, let's say 0.03, and we go right here, that is where the tornado would be right there. That is the mesocyclone right there. And again, if we spawn in a simulated tornado, 1 second here. Do we still have? Did I get rid of the simulated tornado? 1 sec. Let's go back to editor, place. Oh no, I did get rid of it. Okay. So place tornado VDB right here. Let's go back to this. And actually, it was an EF5. Oh, we'll do the EF4. I think the EF4 is fine. Now we'll try EF5. Let's see if it's a little bit different. And let's bring up the density multiplier to 4. Let's bring down the playback speed to 0.6. We should probably have those as default settings. And this is our EF5 here. Let's bring this down closer to the surface. Right about there would be good. And if we take this, and it's pretty big. It's like an EF10. We need to make this smaller. So let's put it right under the mesocyclone of the storm, right in going through Moore, Oklahoma. And that is that's basically radar data plus a simulated tornado. Ange says this is unbelievably impressive. Thank you so much, Ange. Thank you for the disclaimer. Again, I think Brendan probably put it up. Oh, this is the anniversary week. Yeah, in 2 days we've been around for 10 years. In 2 days, it's our 10-year anniversary. We started out as Ontario Tornado Watch, and it's developed from there into Instant Weather Ontario. Kim says, I subscribe to 3D Weatherverse. Super excited. Thank you so much, Kim. Yeah, if you want to subscribe to get updates on this, just go to 3dweatherverse.com. 3dweatherverse.com. And then at the bottom of the page, you can subscribe. There's a video on there talking about our whole journey and story of creating this and over the years. And literally started with me having a dream where I looked outside and I could see a rotation icon underneath a storm outside the house. And then when I woke up, I realized, and like all the neighbors could see it too. And when tornado warned, the whole storm went red, and I was like, "How is this possible?" And then when I woke up from the dream, I realized the only way that would be possible is with like everybody's wearing like smart glasses where we can all see like overlays. So once the world evolves into everybody wearing smart glass like Apple smart glasses that are coming out supposedly this year, and mixed reality headsets and all that kind of stuff. When that does eventually happen, it'd be cool to get this technology into it. So, like, you'd be able to see the storm in real time and see all the markers and all that kind of stuff. So, happy anniversary, many say. Uh, Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Linda. Says that's awesome. Let's take a ride on the crazy train. LOL. Uh, Angela says that was your twister moment. LOL. Yeah. Yeah, so all severe thunderstorm warnings have ended in Ontario. We were tracking some stuff in. Hold on, let me go take a peek. I just need to take a little peek here at this storm because it looks like it's now even a little bit stronger. I don't think there's much of an environment up here though, so I don't know if it's reaching the surface. But 74 km/h wind, so pretty gusty storm. If you're in Sauble Beach, please let us know. Please let us know what you're experiencing because it's sub severe, so we're not seeing severe levels, but it's probably pretty darn windy going through Sauble Beach and heading up towards Bruce Peninsula right now. So, again, all severe thunderstorm warnings have ended. It's likely that this is below severe thresholds, but it's going to be a pretty nasty storm. Yeah. So, yeah, there's that. Birthday party live stream. Yeah, we probably should. 10-year anniversary. I mean, might as well. I think so. So, again, working on some cool stuff. This is the 3D Weatherverse. Let us know if you like it. Definitely sign up at 3dweatherverse.com if you want to learn more about it. And as we start to build it into, a cool storm chasing video game, but also a tool for education. I mean, a tool for raising awareness. Like our whole goal since 2013 has been to raise awareness about tornadoes and severe weather. And I mean, think about it. When I think about, folks who plays video games, whether that's adults or whether it's children, if you're playing Fortnite, you're not paying attention to the weather. But if you're playing 3D Weatherverse and you're storm chasing a tornado that's in your neighborhood, and then all of a sudden you realize it's heading towards your house, you take off the VR headset and go, holy crap, I got to get my, parent, I got everybody to the basement right now or into, the lowest level interior room you have. Um, I think that's a pretty cool way to raise awareness about tornadoes and severe weather. Because if you're playing Call of Duty, you're not paying attention to the weather. If you're playing 3D Weatherverse and it's in real time and you're storm chasing actual storms in real time with real data, getting, like the tornado warning, we can have it pop up on the screen at the top and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't see necessarily a better way, especially for those who like to play video games a lot. I think that would be a great way to raise awareness about tornadoes and severe weather. So, anyways, so basically every decision we make says, will this help us raise awareness about tornadoes and severe weather? Yes or no, the check boxes. And simulating storms in real time, I'm going to go with checkbox yes. I think so. I think this will help. So, anyways, so that's what we've been working on. Hope everybody stayed safe today. Looks like we had some pretty strong storms in deep southwestern Ontario. Hopefully they didn't get too intense. Thanks to the whole team. Thanks to Brennan and Alana and Dave and there's so many I missed. Patricia and Lindsay and Liam and Miranda and Cole. And I'm going to miss so many. Adam. There's Harry, Mike. I just probably just literally go through our chat and name all the names so I don't miss anybody. 1 second here. It's probably helpful. Probably a good idea. Uh-oh. The laptop is choking. One second here. Let me pull that up. Let me pull that up. Who else is in our? I want to make sure I got everybody in the team. I was going deep into that. Now I've lost it. I've lost it. There we go. Okay. Corinne, Ryan, Jason, Andrew, Bree, um, D, Devin, Dominic, Jake, Jennifer, John, Kyle, Leslie, Matt. I always forget so many names. Teresa, of course. Teresa. Yes, of course. Anyway, so huge thank you to the whole team. Huge thank you to everybody in the community. We should definitely do a birthday live stream, whether there's weather going on or not. I guess I can just geek out and fly around the US and check out storms and all that kind of stuff as well, too. So, anyways, thank you so much, everyone. Hopefully you have a wonderful evening. We'll be watching radar just in case anything pops up, but so far it's looking like it might be weakening there. Maybe some gusty winds in Leamington, maybe some gusty winds up by Sauble Beach with that storm going through Bruce Peninsula. But overall, just some rain and a little bit of lightning and maybe some small hail, but nothing too intense at this point in time. So yeah, so that's that. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll talk to you very soon. Hopefully, you like the new technology that we're working on. I think it's pretty exciting. And Instant Weather Pro as well, of course. Instant Weather Pro we've been working on for so many years now. It will be coming out. The plan is it's coming out in the end of May. That's the plan. We'll see if that works, but that's the idea. So Instant Weather Pro coming out in the end of May. 3D Weatherverse is on the way as well too. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to be available, but obviously it's getting pretty close. It looks pretty cool. So I think a lot of folks would enjoy playing around with it right now. So yeah, we should probably get it out pretty soon. So anyways, thank you so much, everyone. Have yourself a good evening. We'll talk to you very soon. Thank you, Ange. Ange says, Adam, are you also still accepting donations? Yeah, Ange, of course. I mean, of course you don't have to, but we sincerely appreciate your donations. We appreciate everybody sending stars, super chats on YouTube, subscribing to our app, subscribing to our text message alerts. And if you do want to send donations, I think we have a link for it here. Let me see if I can find it. I believe it is. There it is. It is instantweather.ca/donations. If you'd like to make a one-time donation, you can do it through that. So yeah. So thank you so much, everyone. Sincerely appreciate all of your support over these past 10 years. It's been a wild ride. And anyways, thank you kindly. We'll talk to you very soon. Have yourself a good night. Bye-bye.